everybody, and welcome back to Europe League. It's our final play day for regulation stage time. Hello, I'm Analyst, your host. With me on the Analyst desk are Fresh and XR Troika. We're all wearing the same t-shirt with a shirt on top of it, and I'm loving it. We didn't even prep for it, but it kind of just happened. The Cozy Boys.
Fashionable.
Trendy.
And fresh.
Hey.
And I'm here as well.
Anyways, we got a lot to talk about today, and maybe our pre-show won't be as long as before because we're just kind of wrapping up the stage. Next week, you'll see it'll be the last chance qualifiers, and Janiro, our good friend, will be here. So we'll be discussing everything with everybody on here to see who is the final team that qualifies from Europe to the Copenhagen Major. But we've already qualified our teams here except for one. And that'll be determined a bit on. Let's take a look at our playoffs bracket here for Europe in case you missed the past couple of play days, which is yesterday and also last Tuesday. There it is. This is for LCQ. That'll be next week. But for now, we've set it in stone. Virtus.pro versus G2 Esports. I am so excited to see this legacy legendary matchup just a bit later today. All best of three. Make sure you're tuning in for it. G2 and Virtus.pro are confirmed to play in phase 2 of the Copenhagen Major. Only, 3 days of competition away from successfully making it to the main stage at the first Major of 2023.
Yeah, absolutely. They both confirmed it yesterday. So good to see these two rosters being back. Or, the story of the original Team Empire and then G2 as an organization dominating Europe. We're back again. They obviously play today for the seeding purposes, but I think the big one that everyone's waiting to see is who's going to be the third team that qualifies. That will, of course, be Wild or Eminem.
Absolutely, and like you say, that third place spot is going to go into phase 1, so it's going to be a little bit of a longer road potentially to the finals of the major, but still a road that can be walked. For me, it's all about that G2 VP game. I was looking last night and I was sort of having a little bit of a head-to-head matchup as to how many times they've played each other as orgs. Obviously going under Empire, but similar orgs, similar players, similar teams, and it really is going to be one for the ages. And
again, yesterday, both of you were discussing it. G2, the kind of team that you never call is out until the game actually ends, which is the same thing we've been saying about the squad since 2017, no matter what iteration they've been under, even back in the Penta days. And then with Virtus.pro, they're Team Empire Plus, and then they're back. Remember, this is a team that pushed everybody to the edge, won trophies in the past. Joystick, we got to talk to him yesterday. This is a battle for the ages, and the more things change, the more they stay the same, especially if it's in the favor of Europe. So that's one thing the desk is very much truthful about here.
Yeah.
We value that.
We do.
Even though sometimes we kind of conjure up things from memory.
Sometimes. And, when you've seen as many games as you have, Milos, sometimes.
Sometimes, you have dementia. Or what?
It is what it is. That's what we'll say. That's all we'll say on that matter.
Fair enough. So from then on, what are our games for today? It's actually pretty simple. 2 best of 3 series, as our wonderful analysts were mentioning. And here's how it will go. Our first game is Wild versus Eminem. As XR Troika was saying, winner of the game makes it through to the major. Phase 1, yes, but still makes it to the major. Huge achievement. We'll see if Wild can pull it off for the first time that they get to play in Blast R6 or the entire Rainbow Six Tier 1 ecosystem. Whereas Eminem have seen events over all of 2022 and the beginning of 2023. Pretty impressive for, a year ago, they were Wild.
Absolutely. And just consider this. Those two teams are going in at a shot of phase 2 ahead of teams like BDS, like Koi, like Wolves, who will all be coming up in the LCQs. So there's still a lot of prestige here for those two teams to be able to just go in and walk into phase 1 without having to go through the turmoil that will obviously be next week of those LCQ qualifiers.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like Ollie's saying, both teams probably looking at their opponent thinking they're beatable. If we drop into a bracket, you never know how a bracket's going to go out with, 8 teams in there.
Unpredictable.
2 former winners of the majors last year's in there. You don't want to be doing that. Get it done today. That's what these two teams are going to be thinking about.
Whereas with G2 and Virtus.pro, there's a bit of seeding and there's SI points that we mentioned. There's a bit of extra cash in it all. And of course, the bragging rights of being the #1 team in Europe League, which is so important.
Yeah, I think the teams will, ultimately the net outcome is seeding, right? I think that's probably the big benefit, because a better seed in phase 2 of the playoffs, easy chance for phase 3 of the playoffs or of the major, a better chance of winning, but there's also, like a bunch of other benefits as well.
Especially when you look at the bracket that's going to be played in phase 2 and the format of it being Swiss, going in that preferable seed, going in that first seed is going to guarantee you a much easier game in the grand scheme of things. And that's something that's really worth fighting for here. So as much as there's maybe a desire to hide things a little bit and keep things a bit close to your chest because you've made it into phase 2, the advantages of winning this game probably outweigh that.
Because I think we theory crafted that if you win this game today, you're very likely to end up against a team that comes from phase 1 of the major, but that also isn't the first seed coming out of that. You're very likely to end up against the bottom seed in phase 2, which will give you a significant advantage. Like Ollie says, further cash, further SI points, and a much better chance of winning.
And that's the advantage. That's why we're playing this stage. It gives you a big advantage later on in the major. Even though we have a lot of teams that are going to the major, there still has to be, I guess, winners that have won a bit more. I guess that allows them to win more later on down the line. Though, speaking of, I guess, the winners and losers of our bracket, it's LCQ. You both mentioned, teams like BDS, like Wolves, they made it through into last chance qualifiers, but only one team out of these 8 can make it out of there. There's Heroic, there's Wolves, there's Secret, there's Koi, there's BDS. I mean, Jack, who are the other teams? Who's Unlimited? Who's X10 How do they make it here?
Yeah, so obviously we've got a lot of European League teams that have fallen out of the EU competition throughout various phases. Like you say, Wolves, Koi, BDS, and CT9 were the first to fall. Then you had Secret and Heroic that fell into the LCQs yesterday. You'll have the 4th place European League team, which will be Eminem or Wild today. And then you've got X10 and Unlimited. Now, X10 played through the Open Qual playoffs. They were known as, 10 in Challenger League last year. They came second. We saw them play up against Unlimited in December at the EU finals last year. And Unlimited won out that best of 5. And therefore their advantage was that they came straight into the last chance quals, didn't have to play anything before it, and they get a nice juicy matchup with BDS.
I'm not sure how much of an advantage that is, Fresh. I'm going to be honest with you. You're talking about BDS in a last chance qualifier. It seems a little bit of a disadvantage, if anything, especially given that we know that X10 are going to be playing up against either Eminem or Wild. Now, it's difficult to judge these teams, obviously, because you can talk about a team like BDS, but current form is what really matters, and they've found themselves in the LCQ, so that is the big thing there. But for me, it puts even more pressure and weight on that Wild Eminem game, because you start thinking about it and you think, what do we want? Do we want to go through today off the back of one best of 3, or do we want to run the gauntlet where we're either going to have to go up against, we're going to win against X10 first, then we've either got Unlimited or BDS, which is just a nightmare game. You don't know who you really want out of that one. It makes things so tricky.
And then also, the team that drops in from today is also going off the back of playing a best of 3 yesterday, losing it, a best of 3 today, and losing it. So they're not exactly in a great run of form, considering they're fighting out for a major. So
they've given a lot away.
Definitely rough for that team that drops in.
And also, it's all best of 3s until the end of LCQ, and until we hit the major, where there it's a Swiss format BO1, which, to be honest, is way more taxing than a couple best of 3s that you need to go through.
And even in that phase 2 of the major, just to add a little bit more, it's like, if you can go through or go out, you're then into best of 3s again. So you're mainly, to be honest, playing best of 3s from here on out.
I hope that everyone's followed along as best you can at home, because we're obviously really in this.
We are deep in the sauce.
I've just had a moment.
We keep explaining it every pre-show.
I've just had like an out-of-body moment where we're really going in on this, but it's important to try and lay it out there as best as possible, because it is a different format. It is something that we're not really used to, but it is exciting because you do get these multiple opportunities for different teams to shine.
Well, that's not even counting all the other regions coming in. There's so much to discuss, but here we have to get our match started. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'll take a quick break. Then it's time for our first match of the day. Winner goes to the major. Simple as Eminem versus Wild in a sec.
We're feeling confident. We are ready to go.
Every team wants to win.
I can't wait.
We are ready, but you are not ready.
We're going to try to start it off with a bang.
We're definitely an up-and-coming team.
No team knows how we play or how we perfect it.
It's already decided, it's done.
We got these guys, let's go.
There's no doubt in my mind.
We're going to take it all the way.
We're the best team.
We do everything for the win. We've won before.
Be careful, guys. The one pack is coming for you.
I don't think there is other teams that can beat us.
We have the gun skill and also the brain for it.
Mark your calendars with all the wild games because you're not going to want to miss them.
It's all about Team BTS.
It's all koi, baby.
Team Eminem are taking home that trophy.
GT9, we are gonna win!
Welcome back, friends. Game number 1 is about to begin. I'm Analyst, your host. With me are Fresh and Extra Troika, and we just helped you put things into perspective for our play day and prepare you for LCQ next week, the final week of competition here in Europe before we hit the Copenhagen Major in late April. Though, now we turn our attention to Eminem versus Wild, and the game is quite simple. It's a best of 3. Winner goes to the Major in Phase 1, which means they get to play in what is basically the group stages with everybody that is not a legendary team or the top team in the region. Can they do it today?
Yes, they can. Both of these teams can do it today. Milos, absolutely anybody could do it as long as they've got a chance. But what I will say is Eminem, I think, up and down season, up and down stage. It would be fair in calling them that. We've known Eminem to be inconsistent. And I think we saw a little bit of that today, yesterday.
Yeah.
We saw them last week absolutely run through. It was Heroic that they ran through to get to yesterday in terms of playing up against G2. They ran through Heroic. Then they came up against G2 yesterday, and they were just outclassed across the park. I don't think they helped themselves. I thought G2 were excellent, but I thought Eminem really struggled yesterday as well to get going because we know they've got a lot of quality.
We know that Eminem is a team that can perform, and we've spoken about all of the players on the roster at some point having some sort of standout or pop-off.
Yeah.
Yesterday, they never got the wheels turning. That 7-0 was, it just destroyed them, to be honest with you. And to suffer that so early on into the series, I think the head started to dip and things really started to almost get from bad to worse for them in that game. There was no moment that we saw salvageable. There was no moment where the brakes were put on and it was, stop, we need to start thinking about this a little bit better. But at the end of the day, they went up against G2 and they're a top tier team at the moment. Yep. So there's got to be some sort of expectation there as well.
I think Fluke put it best yesterday is that Eminem actually played well. They played good Siege. But that just shows how good G2 are, that they were running circles around their opponents, and that G2 are on another level, which is why we're also excited for G2 VP, because it represents two opposite poles of playing Siege nowadays, despite the success that both teams have had over this stage. Anyways, that's for later. Now, Wild on the other side. What can they bring?
Well, Wild, I thought, was excellent through the group stages. I thought they've got a good, balanced team. They like to opportunity spot. They're good at planting. And they maybe hit a roadblock of experience yesterday is probably the way that I would put it. They hit a best of 3, started off well, and then ended up struggling.
I think they played a best of 3 in the same way that you try and play a best of 1. And that was something that clearly didn't work out for them. They came out of the gate swinging. The start of Skyscraper was great, and they did get the result on Skyscraper. However, things went from bad to worse when they were playing up against Virtus Pro yesterday. As we know, Virtus Pro, a very experienced side, a side that has that ability to dig deep inside of a best of 3 and really find themselves. We never like to point out or to sort of call people out here on the desk, but there was a lackluster performance from a couple of the players on Wild yesterday. There were a lot of people not winning gunfights, and that really started to cost them in the second 2 maps.
All right, and what if we dug into Wild's actual in-game performance, Jack? Would that be possible?
It would be possible, Milos, and I'm already over at the telestrator.
He's so quick! Lightning McQueen!
I run. I mean, it's not far, but I do run over here. I mean, one thing that I would say is, have you ever had too much of something, and then it's made you just feel a little bit sick? You know, like for me, I have too much ice cream, and it makes you feel a bit sick, but I just keep doing it over and over again, just eating that ice cream. Wild have exhibited that symptom on the plants today. So I'm going to get into the telestration, and I'm going to show you why. So they're on map 3. They're going up against Virtus Pro, and I like what they're doing. I love it. I think their identity of Siege is really good. So I'm just going to set the scene. They're attacking Dining Kitchen. Virtus Pro have got a bit of a, I'll be honest, a bit of an odd strat going on here. They've reinforced off, you can see the reinforcements here, they've reinforced off the master wall, which means they're giving Wild control of the office. Now, that's a very backline defense from Virtus Pro. Wild are taking full advantage of it. They've got their sledge in above. That means that actually they can go in and they can plant inside of the dining room for free. And that's what we're going to see them try and do. Now, they've got a really good idea with this. They want to go fast. Look at the time on the clock. There's still 90 seconds left on the clock. They're going to go in and they're going to look to Thermite breach. As soon as the breach is going to happen, you're going to go through and they're going to go and try and find the plant straight away. Nice idea from Packball. And this is what I'm saying about Wild. They love to stick to that ideology. If we want to find these plants, we want to find them fast. It's something we've seen right throughout group stage. It's something we saw in the side of phase. So, breach goes off. Now, notice Teb has used his Dokkaebi call. Now, this becomes very important because Teb's gone slightly early on his Dokkaebi call. He's gone slightly early because of the existence of Pasha. It wasn't Pasha, actually. It was Shepard on the Echo who manages to answer the call, and you'll see is able to get back on the Echo cam to deny the plant. Now, Wild, but for this Dokkaebi call going early, would have very successfully executed this plan, and it would have been great. However, that didn't happen. The Echo denies the plant. The Frost manages to push through, get Packball off the plant, and honestly just create a gunfight. Small focus away from Wild here. Virtus Pro was actually excellent in terms of trying to double retake the top floor. They managed to send 2 people up there to retake the top floor, and they managed to get those kills up there. As soon as the top floor is retaken away from Wild, they have to rethink their plan. They cannot plant. So Wild have seen this opportunity to plant, and this is something that we've seen right throughout all of EUL so far, is to try and find a plant and to try and force it. Usually they considered everything, and they had considered everything. They just mistimed it. Oh, so very slightly. You see Shepard gets 1 here. He's going to get 2. It's all going to be left on Teb, who then gets punished. Now, this is the bit where I say, when you've got too much of anything, that's where it gets a little bit of a difficulty. So Wild get 3 rounds down the line. What's happening? They're going to try the same thing again without really adapting, without really changing. So they've opened up the breach, as you can see. They've got top floor control. They've got the sledge in, but they're not aware that Virtus Pro are going to hard commit to the retake. They don't have a plan in place for it. They're not ready for it. And this is where we saw, and I think we were starting to see a little bit of inexperience, a little bit of that new team kind of mentality coming out where they've not necessarily considered everything. So you'll see here, Joystick punches the castle barricade, and it's actually great. Punches the castle barricade, it's a 1 punch, gets the kill. And now that's going to cause an issue for Jegs, who's on the sledge. But while they're still saying, well, we've still got the top floor, we can still hold it, we're still going to try and go into the plant. And they've tried to bring an Osa this time to get a plant so they don't have to go in deep. But they've still got the same thing, but they don't have the Dokkaebi this time. Who's on the Echo again? That's going to be Shepard. They've got C4s. They've got impacts. They can get rid of the Osa shields. And then again, you're going to see VP double retake the top floor. So for Wild today, what I want to see is I want them to stay with their ideology. I want to see them stay with their methodology, but I want to see them consider everything and maybe just change things up a little bit and not go for the plan so quickly every single round.
Seems like there's multiple things that need to be considered before you go for a plan. Objective-based gameplay is always good and nice to watch, but you can't tunnel vision on one specific thing without recognizing that there's so many moving parts that have to fit into the right space before you take that action.
Yeah, I think honestly, it's good. I say this with VP, it's the same kind of thing. I think it's good to have an ideology and a style, but be prepared to mix it up every few rounds just to keep a team on their toes. Because that second time that they tried it, VP were just very comfortable in executing a retake.
I think something that struck me about those clips and the game as a whole was, 1, just how much time was left on the clock, and 2, how many players were alive when that sort of stuff's being attempted. Now, 5 versus 5 plants do happen, and it can happen quite early on into the round, but there's got to be something that gives you the indication that, yes, this is what we're going to go for. There has to be a trigger of, this is our opportunity, this is what we're exploiting, this is why we're doing it. Give it a bit of a methodology, because just to go up against brute force 5 versus 5 when there's full utility left on the board and everything, it can be a very difficult thing to pull off. And I think once Wild get the handle of that and they understand, right, what's our trigger, then we can start to execute these plants. Things will start to work a little bit better.
It's part of your in-game identity, right? And now we have to see which maps are going to have to, I guess, be tried on for this matchup. Remember, winner of this best of 3 makes it to the major. It'll be a huge achievement for Wild, and so they'll be the first to pick. They pick up Villa. They start on the attack. Chalet is second for Eminem, and they start on defense. And finally, Clubhouse, where our decider, Eminem, had the choice. Let's start on the defense on there as Wild have picked up attack. Jack, overall thoughts on the map bans?
So when I was prepping this map ban, the one thing that I kind of linchpinned and I was thinking in my head, both teams permaban bank. Who's gonna ban bank in this banning phase? Because Eminem never play it. It's literally their permaban. But Wild also don't like it. Whoever ended up banning bank, in my opinion, was the one who lost the ban phase. Because I'm looking at the maps clicked, and I think Eminem can definitely play Villa, but Eminem loves Chalet and they love Clubhouse. And I think they've been able to get to those maps because they've been baiting out that bank ban from Wild.
I think you look at it as well, and we're seeing a couple of maps there that we saw yesterday. Fresh, we're seeing 2 maps there in Chalet and Clubhouse, if we get there, that Wild played yesterday, and 2 maps that they lost against VP. Very convincing loss as well on Chalet, especially given Eminem's preference for that map.
Oh, yeah.
That's scary for me. This really is a bit of an alarm bell going off that, you know, map 2 could be fireworks here, and I think Wild, they need to be careful that they don't fall into the same trap as yesterday of having a favourable map to start things off on and then slipping as things start to move a little bit further on into the series.
I mean, that puts the pressure on you. You need to perform well on map 1 just in case things go awry, tempers your expectations. But what can we expect on map 1 then?
I mean, we've not seen Wild on Villa yet. We have seen a decent amount of Eminem on Villa. It's one that they played through the group stages where they know the processes on Villa. I do have it as numerically their 8th preference map, but it is one they play. It's one they play a lot into best of ones for that reason. So they know how to play it, but it's by far and away not their favourite map. I think it's because it forces them kind of into shoehorning into doing default attacks a lot of the time, whereas their players like a lot of freedom. So Wild can maybe try and expose that a little bit. We know the Eminem players like to go off at times to just try and do their own thing, and Wild could probably expose that.
And somewhere that Eminem really shine is on the defence. They do tend to be one of those teams that typically favour that defender side. You start thinking about the players that they've got that are able to sort of achieve some of those jobs, and you think about players like Tyrant, what a great space finder they can be. Usus, he had a super quiet day yesterday, but if he's given a little bit more space, especially on a map like Villa, where you can really start to stretch your legs, that can be devastating as well. Tie that in with some of the downfalls that we saw in the attacks yesterday from Wild, and all of a sudden we could be looking at something that starts to slip away quite quickly.
Yeah, I think just for Eminem, obviously, you know, it will have been we focused quite a lot on Wild, but for Eminem, it will have been quite a difficult loss to take yesterday, I think. You know, G2 are good friends of theirs. You know, there's no getting around that.
I think there's always that
the
goes
2
into
teams
it
are good
as well.
friends. It will have hurt, particularly losing 7-0. So the fact that they're going to get on Villa, which is a map they play, and start on the defence, it will allow them to ease themselves into it. And then even if they lose that map, it's all about winning map 2 and 3, and they're 2 maps that they love. So I would say I'm quietly confident for Eminem after seeing that ban phase and the starting side as well.
Yeah, I would agree. And like you say, playing against your friends, it's never easy. You saw a couple of tweets yesterday going out. I think Nath had one of Alamau's jerseys on, but he had it on backwards so you could read like Alamau when they've done a jersey swap at Alan or something. He was like playing against my idol. And you know that these teams are really good friends, and you know that that makes the fixture even more difficult. Today, moving into this is business. This is really time to switch on because phase 1 of the major's on the line for them.
We talked about things, you know, being more of a marathon, not a race in a best of 3, something that Wild had to look up with and work with. And yesterday they got really close against Virtus Pro, but they're going to have to do it again here against Eminem, and we'll see how they perform on Villa. Our lobby is ready. Sorry we had a slight delay, but things are fixed up. Ollie, Fresh, thank you very much. Our casters are ready. Hapanam, take it away.
Thank you very much, Milos. And yes, we are here with maybe one more game in the route between these 2 teams to the route to Copenhagen. If they fall here, then that one game suddenly turns into 3.
Yes, let's hope they don't fumble like I've been fumbling today, because I've spilled my drinks twice. I've just thrown my pen across, but, you know...
I really wish it was on camera and just sadly rolled.
I mean, I was just sitting up like this, and it just like... just went off. Either way. Yes, let's see.
We'll see if these 2 teams drop the ball as much as you drop the pen and your drinks.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, there were mistakes from these 2 teams yesterday. Now, I'm not going to say that they were catastrophic. More so on the side of Wild than Eminem. I think Wild dropped the ball a bit more than Eminem did in their showdown, regardless of how long and how many maps we saw. So we gotta see good night's sleep. Had a big breakfast, and you're coming ready for a fight today.
That's it. Just get back into that mindset. You know, there's still the opportunity to make it to that top part of the major phase 3 instantly to come through. That's what these teams are aiming for. They do not want to go through all those phases beforehand. They want to end up as high as they possibly can. And as we start off, it's going to be a Ying ban to start us off with. Let him play it.
Let him play it.
It's not going to be
Give
played.
Hungry Ying.
It's not going to be allowed.
Let him have the Ying.
Not yet. Maybe in a later map it will be allowed. Not now. Now, because, well, to be removed, that means that the road for Sneaky Blitz will open up.
I mean, it was Tyrant at one round had the Sneaky Blitz. The other round, was it Nave? It might have been.
We had 2 rounds of Sneaky Blitz.
Yeah, there was
yesterday.
two. There was 2 Sneaky Blitzes from Eminem on border.
Yeah.
Frost. It's not the most common removal.
No, it's not often we see that.
It's a strange one because it's like understandable, but not massive. Like, you think of what else you could put in that position. A Frost is common and a Frost is irritating, and Frost is a good operator in the right hands. It's a great gun. It's got the pace. Obviously, the changes that we saw thrown around at SI aren't live yet. They're a distance away.
Yeah, they're still being worked on, you know. Just
Still being worked on.
everything ready.
There was a little bit of audience feedback.
It was first, it started off as a boo, and then was like, oh, actually, it's like, we're going to have a giant drill to follow the operator that stepped in.
It was a lot of blood.
It was a lot of blood, yeah, no. I don't think someone would actually be able to survive walking around with that much blood.
I would put a low survivability here.
Yeah.
All right. A best of 3. And for context, if you're unaware, the other team will get themselves through straight onto the stage 1 of the major. The losing team will have to go down to the last chance qualifiers.
Yeah, where they then will qualify for the final spot.
And we have most of that bracket completed. There's only one missing spot, one missing seat right now. And you're thinking of the teams that are in there, and sure, it's split off into 2 sides. You don't have to play them all. You might not have to play all of them. But you've got Koi down there. You've got Wolves down there. You've got BDS down there. You've got teams that have started to play better than when you played them last. Yeah. And that's worrying for a team that's played them already. That's worrying for a Tier 1 team that's played them in Tier 1 and beat them, because it's like they're now energized and we're sort of on the back of a marathon here.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it is carrying in 2 ways, right? Because you might have beaten them before, but they've also just been able to just watch every single one of your games here and exploit the weaknesses you've shown even more so. As Aces was looking to go for a very early opening engagement here. He's not going to find anything onto users. Well, holding on for now. Going to try and find themselves an entry here. They're pretty spread out. There's different angles being watched, information being gathered, and then as soon as the weak point gets isolated or spotted, rather, they are going to be hammering down on that. So first grenade comes through. Now aware that no one is going to be active inside Piano, but Tyrant actually playing around some rotations here.
Yeah, he's got a bit of wiggle room there on the side of Zulu. They've got the opening down towards the piano door as well, so they can make sure that Tyrant has a bit of support. He's wasting 2 things, time and resources down here. They have to focus a pinch, or they have to pull off. And it's an awkward play space, because you think of how many cross angles there are. You've obviously got the swing down from the sort of brick brown stairs, the main stairs. You've got users not playing far away as well, inside library. And although he feels isolated, when you take a step back and really look at the 3 dimensions of this, it's a bit of a suicide dive to go for that single player. So what do? Well, you can either try and go for a full swing, take someone on the top, maybe cut off his rotation and put the pressure there, or sneak here from the back end. Go across the face of Red, find your way towards Red stairs. Seems like Wild are trying to toss up both options at the minute.
Right now, it feels like they're aware of the fact that they're kind of in a deadlock here, so they need to make an opening happen, and that's exactly what Aces does. As soon as he will find a kill, it's going to be a bit of panic for the Eminem players down below. They'll have to shuffle, and openings will be made that way. And as Aces and Packbull are already close to the side, they have the opportunity to just go and try and attempt to plant right behind the fault door there. Some verticality will be there to deny it, so I believe Aces is rotating himself around to make sure that that won't happen, and he's going to be able to stop any of these vertical players out here.
Where has he gone? Jegs does get Nafe on the top, and Packbull's going to see if he can stick the kid in the meantime. They've just flooded their way onto site, and now they've entirely surrounded Tyrant, who's given a bit of his position away, caught out in the swing. A post plant has been able to pop off. There's only 2 Eminem players left suddenly inside the site. Solotov, he's spraying from the back of the vault line. Nello's caught from the sprays back across the wing of Study. They just saw an opportunity here, Wild, and they said they were weighing up their options, and they found the straight route through, still with the watch from Study, from the top of Red, from the back of the shield on the strategy table as well, and very well read there from Wild to sort of piece everything together. You could see the cogs were turning.
Yeah, and kind of if you looked at the entire round, it was like, okay, we're in that deadlock here near Piano. We cannot really enter it. We cannot really enter Study. So Aces, he went all the way around, as you mentioned, from Red, gets himself that opening, finds himself the space, sees 90 is clear, sees there's no one on the opposite side of the building. So you just start planting. You start moving them about that way, and suddenly you're no longer stuck. You can start moving in. So great way to find that space that was needed there for Wild. Let's see if they can do it again as we're changing sides to trophy statuary. Now, Eminem, I have to say, they held it off well, except for the fact that they had no seeming information that anybody was coming in from red stairs and landing.
And that's it. There's a gap in the plan. There's a sort of glaring hole there, and if you find that sort of weakness, if you find the exhaust port to shoot to destroy the Death Star, you take the shot, you trust it, you trust the Force, and you go for it. Lessons learned from movies can be applied in video games. Who'd have thought?
Apparently can be. Didn't expect a Star Wars quote to be coming in right now. But yeah,
the thing is, I said exhaust port. I bet there's Star Wars fans that are like, well, actually.
Actually, it's not an exhaust port.
I bet I'm getting well actually right now.
You might.
No.
But at the same time, I might also be very happy that you mentioned the Death Star. So it's a bit of a give and take.
It's a win-loss. Either way, it was well read from Wild. There's no sort of two ways about it. They acted upon it, and they acted as a team upon it as well. And that was one of those problems that we saw sort of in the latter half. The first map Wild played was Wild, especially the opening 3 rounds. We all remember how quick, how dangerous that was, and it seems like Jags is going to keep that danger up. Wild seemed more tired as the series went on. That's when I think we're going to get the truest test of how much they've been able to bounce back from yesterday.
That's it. Like, it's that famous saying, it's a marathon, not a sprint, especially if you're in a long knockout tournament like this. By the way, Nave falling back, just been spotted there by Jags, and well, Jags has been able to make up quite a bit of space. He's basically knocking on the doors of the sites already, waiting for Aces to also make something happen in the meantime. Hungry now, going for the upside down. There's someone down there, he's watching you.
I mean, that was almost the moment. Jesus was trying an angle there, but the drone rolled through first, thankfully for him. That grenade will do a bit of damage to Nafe, who's tucked safe, moves his way over to the other side of the previously destroyed ground as here comes that Wild pressure once again. Jags gets second of the round, 4th of the game. And he was that sort of terrifying force whilst Wild was suffering yesterday, kept on. And if he hadn't have had a bit of a slow first map, he might have put pressure onto the best of 3 record. But in the meantime, the record for this map is being set. Another pacey destruction of the hold on the site. Users is able to get 1. He gets himself rotated, cannot find the second. All the way on the opposite end, and that just leaves Solotov alone. A single peppered shot through the door. They know exactly where he is. And Wild get their second.
Didn't even have to take the side there. They basically kept all their feet outside of it because they knew exactly where they were. It's like, well, they have to move because, if they don't, we can just walk in and get that plant. Well done there by Wild. And Jag's able to find the opening. I mean, he literally went from the opposite side of the map, just came up the stairs, sweeps up 1, finds a second one, saw the third one walk over towards the side as well. And well, they just played that perfectly there. They didn't over-aggress when they had the advantage. They kept it very calm and collected. Like, let's just hold our angles. They will be walking into our gunfire. And it's exactly what happened right there. Eminem had nowhere to go except to try and take fights. Because if it's a 4v1 or a 4v2, if you stay in your positions, you're going to be losing anyway. So you got to try and force a play. And that's what they tried. And they got picked up and punished for it.
Jags. I briefly alluded to him and the scores he was setting yesterday. I think in map 2, he was on about 17 kills. In map 3, I think it was about 16.
Yeah, it was like 30 kills in total after like round 3 of map 3 or something like that.
It was extraordinary. And it was a bit rough, obviously, with the fact that a couple of the other players on the team couldn't get themselves on the kill board at all throughout the series. It's good to see him still on that role. It's good to see him still applying that pressure because as soon as other people activate around him, as they are here, it turns into that Wild that we saw at the beginning of this season, that Wild that we saw at the beginning of the playday yesterday, to be fairness. But for now, another approach back to AVG, back to the first site hold, and will they have their eyes slightly tighter towards the approach on site? It seems like there's only 1 loose player underneath this time, and they have a player stuck on red that might be about to find themselves on the wrong end of a bit of Gon6 pressure. All the way down the barrel.
The barrel breach coming through. So Jags and Aces just moving in quickly, and they're going to take the opposite side of the building like they have done in that previous round. Making sure there's going to be no roamers to worry about. A lot of smokes already coming through. Definitely should be reason for some sort of panic from Eminem, knowing, of course, how much Wild loves to go for these plants every now and then. Aces takes a lot of damage. They know where Nello is on these red stairs. Grenades get tossed in, but the ADS will catch it up. But does he know about the second that's about to be coming in from the actual site? Just jumped through the window. Solotov finds a return, but it's still a 4-on-4, and now the map, that side of the map cleared up.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of those glasses to kick in before they can see the smoke, the same as Glad, so they could not quite get the swing onto the player that hit themselves just on the red window. And as I said, it was a bit of cause for concern. The push started and just kept on sprinting. Tyrant always looked one way just as the other has held the angle inside Teb. They're tiptoeing on a fight. There's a scratch of damage, pulls himself back with the grenade, still loses it, but now he's just getting out of there. He doesn't want to give the fight, doesn't want to give the body balance back to them. Tyrant knows he's offside, and Teb knows that just as well, so pulls himself away. And Wild, they still have to try and crack themselves into the site itself. They need to maybe find a body, and that's why they're doing these little shoulder peeks, these little aggro moments. If Tyrant had got it, suddenly a 4 versus 4 is pretty good for them, especially with the hold underneath, but still, a 4 versus 5 and you've got your site. Wild have to try and find a new route through.
Yeah, they're trying to find one more Wild here. They're trying to find a bit of an opening they can enforce wide open. And Aces is quite low, of course. Jax actually manages to find himself in the middle of the side. It's going to go for the plan. The question is, are they aware of it on the side of Eminem? Seems to be the case. Look to your right side. Just in time. The diffuser will get cancelled out, and that means Wild is now in a 2v4 with the diffuser dropped on the ground. 30 seconds. Can you clutch it out?
I mean, it's a bit rocky at this moment in time. They've lost those bodies. They've lost all the watch. And as I said, having 4 players still standing, locked around the site, it allows you to keep it locked down. The angles were swung on. They pushed themselves back in, and Eminem can gun. Obviously, as we said, they were playing a good game against G2 yesterday. It's just G2 were playing a pretty untouchable game.
Yep.
At points, they had an extortionate amount of kills across the whole team, and those big gunners from Eminem, like Solotov, like Usus, like Tyrant, just weren't quite able to activate yesterday.
And that's it. It stays an FPS at the heart of the game, of course. Like, if you cannot hit the shots or if you're not winning the duels, then it's going to be a very, very hard game for you as a team to actually pull over the finish line there. We're headed to the tertiary side for Eminem. They are not opting to go for trophy stat tree right away after they win Aviator. Instead, we're going down below. At least one. And looking at it, you know, we see some Capcan traps being deployed. The Banshees again making an appearance. Actually, we see a lot less Melusi nowadays, of course, ever since the speed nerf came through. Still has her play every now and then, but it's not as prevalent anymore as it was before.
It's positional. You're looking at sites that she can sort of be a big part of. I mean, before it was just bring a Melusi, she's fantastic. We've seen more of her recently. I think over the sort of recent season, there was the big drop-off when things changed, but over the past couple of weeks, we've seen her pop back a lot more than where she was.
We have.
Still, you think of who used to play her and who sort of plays her now as the state of the game of where the pace in her gun has left her.
Well, how are you going to be approaching this one? Because in these 2 rounds you were successful, you were not too aggressive, you were basically getting those opening kills and then, you know, the right angles, not forcing yourself on the site too quickly. Is Knave here stopping any of these breaches to go through?
I think he impacted the first Selma as well, so he's ready to impact the second. There it goes, and that was, yeah. Now there's just one left, just one left.
And will you use that on that wall, or are you going to be using it elsewhere? Because Ken also reckon you might want to go for the exact wall Nath is at right now, near the laundry machines, to open that one up for a bit of a wider angle. Actually, it's been slightly softened, so there is an opportunity to use Sledge or anything else out there to widen up that gap if you really wanted that other wall to be opened up.
Now, Oster on laundry can be pretty deadly. You just sort of need bits of pockets of control, which is why you'll often see that laundry side just open. It means that they can't get themselves all the way to the door. They can't just sort of hold bedroom and get the cross angle from outside and then try and sneak that shield in on the corner. It's not easy, but think about it as if you're attacking, you know, border, as we've seen the Oster plants happen on the top floor site. Oh, there's a bit of a scrappy engagement. Tyrant caught just a little from the side there again. Eminem, they're not going to give that fight. They're not going to give that man advantage to Wild because they know how Wild loves to pounce as soon as they get the first and second kill.
Just lurking around, trying to find that very first kill. It's so crucial for Wild's opportunities for success here, because if they do find it, suddenly that opening is there. They can start trading out buddies, you know, the usual siege you're expecting from these teams. And Hungry now on that drone, trying to figure out where the player has gone. Grenades being tossed downstairs. Yuzu's not really taking any damage out there, so he's just chilling on the staircase. As Ace is still on the hunt, unaware actually where his target has gone. Tyrant just roaming around still in close proximity.
Not going to give the fight. Do they know about the person just tucked on the corner? Tyrant is waiting. Nello is not too far away, but can't really offer much unless Aces goes on his drone. For now, it's a stalemate as the pressure in 30 seconds starts to heat up here for Wild. They've got to still see if they can slink a plant, and Aces is just going to sit, wait, and hope he catches a rotate. The Ossa, they've made an appearance. They're not quite caught out. The impact will do some of the damage, but whilst it's still held, not a lot. Hungry does go down in the meantime on the top floor, and there's the pick back up onto the Ossa. There's only suddenly 2 players left, 1 player left on the side of Wild, and Eminem, they just kept everything close to their chest, let the timer tick down, and didn't let Wild get an entrance.
That's it, right? Like, Ace is lurking around, trying to find that initial kill. Tyrant just in time, stepping back out of the way to not be the entry death. And then they're kind of left with a 5v5 fight on the site, which, well, didn't really go their way. They tried to get the shield across, maybe set it up for a plan afterwards, but too much damage done. Not able to actually get that plan into motion. And then partially, due to the fact they did not have a man advantage, they could not rely on the trading game out there. They did not really have that side cleaned up out of utility because the bot wire slowed down the Ossa quite a bit. There's still players out there. There's no lines of sight to protect Ossa if you go from that direction. So, as soon as the entry kill did not land in their favor, it was basically doomed to fail.
Wild, they're able to take the opening 2 rounds here. Since it seems Eminem have got a couple more ideas on their defense and grabs 2 back, but this was one of those 2 that they lost. The sort of third site they've ended up falling onto was taken quite cleanly. As you pointed out, they didn't even need to enter site Wild. They had a hold that was pretty much locked, had all the read and the intel on the players inside of Eminem, just waited for them to swing into positions to punish.
Yeah, and that all started off with the main entrance, going up the main staircase from Jegs, of course, finding those first 2 kills. Now, I think they're going to try something similar, you know, try and get some early entries out, as that has been proven quite beneficial for their chances of round successes. The question is, where are you going to be entering from this though? Because if you go from the same place every single time, it gets very predictable. So instead, you are going to be finding him into the kitchen right now, knows about Nello's position down on the wine cellar stairs. Might be going for the follow soon, but waiting for that drone to hot drone him in, because you do not want to go in blind.
There is the mute jammer just tucked on the corner at the top of the stairs. It's making things awkward. And once again, slowing things down for Wild. That's that sort of cost. That's that risk. And Jegs doesn't want to take it. He's suffered these past couple of rounds. He hasn't been able to get his lead in with all the intel that there is. So, with the wall dropped, with the hatch popped, and now with another drone getting a reveal on the player, Nello is still going to sit and wait. They can go for a rotate round. They can try and pull the pressure elsewhere, but for now, it's still, where are you looking?
Right now, Nello is finding himself in a kind of a spot where he's going to be baited, because as soon as Jags would be going down that staircase, instantly a player from on top of the hatch is going to be trying to go for a reply here. So that kind of makes Nello safe in that current spot. Means Jax needs to rotate all the way around to the basement if he wants to take that fight, and otherwise Nello's just going to be allowed to just stay out there. So nothing for him to worry about. Quick check onto the master bedroom is going to be confirming that currently no real pressure is still coming through. A drone has entered, but that's going to be about it. And RC Rotero used to get rid of that serial laser gate. It's very costly. I imagine they might have wanted to go for the jump as they went through, because the bulletproof also, doesn't get destroyed by the serial laser gate. Then they would have also had the Kiba barrier, but the second one had to be expended to get rid of that.
They've now just got the new read on Nello, still moving and causing trouble underneath. They're trying to get themselves popped over the wall here, but they don't have the clean control underneath. That grenade doesn't quite get the distance all the way. They're still looking for the fight over the top. And the Kiba barricades, you assume, are what is plugging the gaps that they're shooting over the top. They're entirely out. They're trying to find the claw from underneath. They're trying to find something to give them a route through. But look at Eminem's hold. As I said, those Kiba barricades have just instantly replaced the gaps over the top. They're underneath but can't see the claws themselves. They still haven't been able to get Nello out of position. They finally spray through. Nello does go down and will get picked back up, but you've got 25 seconds now. You've just got to try and blindside and run on the site itself. Here's the super shorty, getting one locked on the back. They get one on the site, as Aces does get another body for Wild, but 10 seconds. Aruni Gates and the calls are coming through. There's a spray down to the top of the stairs. Packbull, but Tep goes down. It's trade for trade across the entirety of the site, with Packbull finally finding a sliver through, leaving just the sole player. And now a post plant, potentially. We've got the 1 versus 1 as they're going for the cover. Tyrant's not quite sure where they're tucked. He's curious. He swings on the angle, just sees the end of one, gets them down the second in exactly the same place. But it's Packbull with his third of the round that just pulls Wild through.
Packbull really was worth his weight in gold for that round, because managing to go through, getting 2 of those kills, the plan down and the security at the end, that's what they needed. Because again, they failed. They wanted to use those grenades to get rid of the Cade Electroclaw. Sledge used one. Well, it wasn't on the ground, so couldn't find it. Second one used. Aces used both of them on people as they were opening up a spot above to try and lob it in from above. Because then he looked back and he's like, oh yeah, I don't have grenades left anymore. And neither did the rest of the team.
It was chaotic.
It was very chaotic because they just couldn't get open the wall, which was what they basically spent the majority of the round towards achieving.
And that's it. And Eminem, you know, obviously it came down to just forcing their way onto the site. It came down to forcing themselves in the gunfight across. And, you know, Wild, they have a few players that can do that. They obviously got Packbull with a triple kill. Always nice. When your Heart Breacher brings out that kind of game when it's needed the most. Gets the plant down, gets one more on the tail end of it.
Nath is moonwalking.
Uh-oh.
Walking in place.
That's not good.
Oh,
that's worse.
Nothing was called, but there you go, okay. I like how they waited until he actually disconnected. That's when they realized Nath was gone.
Well, I don't think it's a real, so you get one technical and one tactical pause the game. So if sometimes people's internet drops for a bit and then you put yourself back round.
But his camera's also gone, so they might have just really not noticed.
He looks so fed up.
He just pulled the plug. He's like, nah, not having it anymore. But yeah, we have that quick Rios trying to get Nath back in. Connected to everything before they continue. And Wild currently leading 2-3. Of course, being under attack.
Yeah.
Have a bit of an advantage here with this timeout.
I mean, that's always it, isn't it? When you find yourself on Villa,
yeah,
people love defense. There's no two ways about it. Ever since its sort of inception into...
It's always been a defense.
The game. Yeah, as soon as it's introduced, it's not one of those that sort of maybe had a bit of a shift or whatever. Obviously, metas affect it and change how holds are done.
Yeah.
But even the sort of site preference, if you went back and looked at the very beginning of the map being introduced to where it is now, you'd probably find similar preference rates of the sites across 1, 2, 3. Whereas you look at Club, you look at, you know, Oregon, you look at other maps.
Yeah.
They will have changed from time to time.
Yeah, Oregon still has a little bit of like that stability, but due to the reworks, of course, the sites have swapped around themselves. Yeah. But yeah, Villa, always Aviator and Trophy. Like those two are always the main sites that teams will play. And you know, there's some, you know, odd teams out there that are going to be playing Living Room as their favorite site.
Living Room, it's got to be one of the rarest.
Yes.
I'm trying to think
if I'm looking at all the maps.
I'm trying to think of what would be rare.
Clubhouse, every site gets played. Oregon, every site gets played, although
Border Passport's quite
don't see
rare.
Dining a lot. Customs got played quite a lot actually yesterday. It's not like 3 times or something like that. So it's
in
like,
general though.
Yeah, I mean you see it less because ventilation very good, bathroom very good, and Armory is just, you know, we know that site from basically Season 2.
Yeah, Armory is Armory.
So it's never really changed. I mean, there's an extra rack of guns out there now.
All right.
It doesn't really change that much.
Yeah.
And if you then think of other maps, because then we have Border, Oregon, Club.
Bedroom on Sky doesn't get a huge amount of play.
Yeah, no, I think that one will be in the same list in terms of rarity together with
Fresh is somewhere going, I know this.
Yeah, he's just running it, and then we're going to get a fun fact pop up afterwards.
The fun fact of
about which is actually
the
rarest map.
statistically least played.
But yeah, no, those will be the two sites in the current competitive map pool, I dare to say, are the most rare to see.
The fun fact. We'll be back in just a moment, obviously making sure that we can get Naif back.
He might just be a very good mime, just sitting still, acting like a statue.
Would you say that's the job of a mime?
No, it's
I don't know who I would say that's the job.
Well, he doesn't.
of.
Okay, so he doesn't speak. Statue.
Yeah,
also doesn't
mimes
speak,
don't
so
speak. Mimes don't make noise.
Might just be a statue.
Oh,
cosplaying.
Is that a cosplay? You want to cosplay as an Alibi Prisma?
You could. Could have those.
I'm
like,
assuming
things and
Alibis
stuff.
have done that before at a siege event. Multiple Alibi
Probably when they
cosplayers.
were like taking pictures together. Like
Yeah, surely. How do you choose which is the prime Alibi?
the one that has the gun skin on it.
Ah.
Yes. Or the fancy
Okay.
skin, you know.
Or the fancy skin.
The
I
Prismas only
still.
have defaults.
I really hope for the day that Alibis can duplicate the skin. The Prismas duplicate the skin.
Yeah.
Of what the Alibi's wearing. Because that pirate-y looking skin from the Bravo packs at the minute, I love it.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Let me wear that, and also
That might limit Prismas.
it's like a pay-to-lose skin. Give me all the pay.
Because the Gemini replicator replicates the skin, right?
I don't
From,
know actually.
From Yana, I believe it
Yeah.
does.
I want to say.
I might be wrong with that, but I think that back when Yana got released after Alibi, people were like, "But why does this one copy the skin?"
It's true. It's
So-
true. Rainbow Six, if you're listening, please answer us out there why.
Right now, give us the answers.
Give us the answers.
Just a quick update: we are still waiting for the man that's frozen.
Yeah, it's always tricky when someone's internet DCs because then you also
PC that crashed.
because what are we gonna do? Call him? No one uses phones. Who answers a phone nowadays?
People calling all those, other methods nowadays.
A phone is a device for messaging people. Yeah, we'll hopefully be back in. We'll update you as soon as we know. In terms of the bracket,
Yes.
for where one of these teams will end up in the last chance. You know, I've always seen that in LCQ. I'm like, is it last chance? Last dance?
Last chance.
Last moments. There's some big teams in that, obviously.
There is.
There's some terrifying teams in that bracket and how things shape up.
I think every team is terrifying this currently in that bracket.
Who are they going to be playing? Who does the loser face?
X10 Star first.
Dun dun dun. X10 Star, they're pretty terrifying. They've obviously been able to take some tier 1 scalps on their route through here. They're a team where that roster has gone through... A lot of that roster's players are in... They've gone through like 10 players, I think it is. Like a whole roster and a half.
6 or 7 in the last 7 months or so. So it's
And they're
somehow
poached,
they're still here.
And they're poached by tier 1 teams. And then they're still contending with tier 1. It says a lot about the skill of that team.
Not just the skill, but also like the staff right behind it that's helping select the players and forming them back to be the best that they can be, and the systematics right behind it. So yeah, if you haven't heard, they're looking for organization as well. So
Get them.
send them a message.
They'll be playing this, and then obviously, if they're able to beat them, then whoever loses this game will then have to play another game for their John to Copenhagen. That'll be between Dun Limited and
Yes,
BDS, I believe. The
And
winner,
whoever the winner is.
so whoever the winner of
facing.
that is,
Yeah.
and then if you then win that game,
Then it's only European League teams left.
then it's only European League teams. So losing this game is the difference between 2, maybe 3 maps, and potentially like 9.
Yeah. It could get out of hand real quickly if that's the case. And if you struggle in best of 3s already, that is not where you want to be.
Exactly.
In that situation.
And obviously, with how we've got the new major set up in Copenhagen, the 3-tier system, how things are working, getting a marathon practice in isn't the worst thing.
No.
But you still you want to have your name on the line. You want to have it locked in because then you can just focus on the challenges coming. And join our other merry teams that we've already signed up on the list of. We're sending our EU friends over.
Yeah.
I mean, what other teams have from the other regions?
It's an ISP issue.
It's a what?
ISP, internet service provider.
Oh dear.
2 players are on the same ISP and it just went down.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Who else have we lost?
That's what I'm trying to figure out because everybody else.
Tyrant's moving, Nello's moving, Solotov we can't tell, so it might be Solotov.
Nath and Tyrant are.
But Tyrant is moving
Maybe
on his
he's
cam.
on his phone. No,
Sorry, that was us responding directly to Medix who's in
Yeah.
RA. Medix said he thinks it's Tyrant because he's UK, but we can see Tyrant moving. So
I mean, maybe he's
theoretically not. And
phone
Usus is
network.
also UK, so it could be Usus.
Is Usus moving? Usus
Well,
is moving very slightly.
It's hard to tell.
Very slightly.
Oh
You
yeah,
go very
yeah,
close,
yeah.
You can see the hair.
Yeah,
move
you
out.
see his head in the bottom left.
So yeah, this is. I mean, there's nothing we can do about this. There's nothing the players can do about this. Completely out of their hands. Which means that we're just waiting until
Waiting.
it comes back together.
And obviously the fact that it's happened on a game in progress. means
Yeah, that's
that
always the.
it limits some options. It limits.
Yeah, no, like
Unfortunately,
mid-round subs, that kind of stuff.
We just have to podcast for now.
It's gonna be a podcast.
Can we do
Shall we do a podcast?
No, but can we do a fresh segment? You know how he does the segments when Tim and Des are on, and he comes in and he
He
talks
doesn't
about
do
things.
that for us.
I think it would be nice to have a little bit of a fresh segment. You know,
Get back in the studio fresh.
I'll leave that to production. I'll leave that to Fresh to organise, because he's always got good insights. That boy, he knows things. He can tell us what he thinks is going on, not with the ISP issue, but with the game itself.
I mean, I have to say, during a major, I once did a weather segment.
Yeah,
So
we have.
could do an ISP segment.
We could do an ISP segment and break things down. Probably not preferable,
No.
I think, to the people at home. Probably not preferable.
Summoned me.
Fresh has ambled his way through. Are we coming back on us, on
Yes,
cams?
we are going to
Oh
come back to us.
Word, I need to sit
No,
down.
heard that.
No, they said it to me in my ear. We're coming back to us. So are we going to actually have Fresh on camera as well?
I don't know if Fresh is going to be on camera right
Fresh
away.
just shrugged.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Aye, it's
Half
us.
time. We have summoned the Fresh.
We've
the
summoned
Professor.
Fresh. But Fresh is slightly undressed.
I just got summoned back to the studio. I don't have my shirt on. Well, I do. I have one shirt on.
You have one shirt. So we have, unfortunately, if you're unaware, a technical problem with one of the players at the minute, 2 of the players even at the minute. So we cannot continue the game just for now. So we're going to pull back into us. We're going to make sure that Fresh is ready. We could just do a whole analyst desk. What thoughts do you have, Fresh, about how the game's going so far?
On the first 4 rounds?
Give us
5 rounds? Oh, hi. That caught me off.
Give us some fresh thoughts.
So the one thing that I've liked so far from Wild has been their use of Dokkaebi. 100% use so far. They use them in quite an interesting way in terms of getting the entries in nice and fast into the building. So they're trying to do this split theory where, there's a couple of people pressuring site really early on, opening windows, throwing ace charges, whatever it is. Dokkaebi calls, and then Jegs, particularly, but also Aces is going in, random window, random kind of wherever, and then trying to backstab, but they're trying to do it with a lot of pace. So I'm liking that so far, but I think they've been a little bit too plant-focused a couple of times again.
I was going to say, what do you think about the difference between the first 2 rounds? Is Ollie coming
I think
as well?
we've got Ollie as well.
Ollie,
I saw him lurking in the background. Here he is.
Can we, one note I will say to production, maybe we should put like a technical problems thing on the screen, just so people don't think the game is over, and then we'll be back in. Ollie, what are your thoughts about how the game has gone so far?
We can have a little round table about this, can't we?
I think so. I think your mic needs to be on.
Maybe I do need to be turned on.
Is your mic not on?
No, I don't think
Now
so.
it is.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Hey, let's have a round table. Let's have a bit of a discussion.
Yeah. So the
Fresh
first
come
2
in and
rounds.
save the day.
I mean, we've obviously seen the almost 2 entirely snuck through plants on AVG. Do you think that's a fault of Eminem or Wild seeing opportunity?
Well, we spoke about it in the pre-show, didn't we? We spoke and we said, or I specifically said, what's the trigger? What is the trigger going to be here?
Milos.
Milos is just
Mr.
like
Milos!
cheering.
He's obviously seen that something's going awry. We are running this without you at the minute, so
Emmy was kind of casting and hosting.
if you do want to join, feel free. Oh, you just walk across the front, why not?
We're on cam.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, okay.
Hey, I mean, you were doing so well without me, so
Yeah, well,
carry on.
I was going to go and grab one of the chairs, you know.
accidentally throwing us to a desk segment. But
No,
take it away.
No, honestly, I was gonna type in our WhatsApp group like, man, you guys are really doing a good job of trying to fill in with
Yeah.
as much as possible. But when it became more about race and like, hey, can we make this a more of a race or is it more of a marathon or whatever? That's okay, it's done.
I'm
It's
going to
over.
test production right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask them for a replay to be shown in the next minute or so. So carry on talking and then
All right.
production be ready.
Ollie, sorry, we entered it.
Sorry.
well, we were talking in the pre-show about a trigger as to what is Wild going to do to ensure that these 5v5 plants go down successfully. Round number 1, they didn't necessarily have a trigger as such, but they had sufficient pressure everywhere and they were really sort of tunnel visioning onto this AVG plant. It worked out for them. They did have people below that were there to stop Tyrant, who we also talked about being a great player of making and finding space. And then, they tried to make that work. The Dokkaebi, as Fresh has already mentioned, has been something that they're really trying to sort of get in and get into every round, and that's something we saw yesterday versus VP. But again, that we know that can work both ways, really.
I think that's one of the things as well that when we were able to only unfortunately see just about
5 rounds.
a full of a half, is Wild. We're still trying to piece together if they've got themselves pieced together, if that makes sense. Yesterday, they were a little bit disjointed, I think, towards the latter match.
We saw when Eminem was able to just hold themselves back and not take those fights until the very last moment. Wild was like, where do we enter right now, right? Because it's like we don't have an opening, we don't have the side open, we don't have the wall open because we struggled getting the electro claws. So like it really relied on them getting that first pick and then like breaking that wide open.
Something I said to Fresh when we were watching, I said, whenever I'm playing Siege, and I understand, I'm going to preface this, I understand that me playing Siege and these people playing Siege is 2 very different games. I'm aware of that. But when I play Siege, I covet my utility. If I'm playing Ace, those Selmas are like the most important thing in the round. And if I don't get full value out of that, it's a problem. Wild on the flip side, they're throwing this like it's growing on trees. They're throwing like they've got loads. And it's getting dealt with very early on and often isn't being entirely effective. That was something that we commented on and we sort of questioned. They're using this speed, but they're not slowing down.
Production, I've got my clip ready. Here we go. This is the quickest clip ever. So can we roll the clip production, if that's good for you? One thing that I actually noticed at the time, so it's going to be round 3, right? And this is Wild with their nice ideas. I love these ideas. So Wild's idea here is to fake that they're doing that blitz G2 rush, through to study. They smoke, they throw the gridlocks. What they want to do is they want to get Eminem to overreact. At the same time, you see in Jegs and whoever's on the Ayana there, it's Aces at the same time, going in the basement, they're going to come up the stairs. Now, Nello gets no statistical anything for this round, but what Nello, or what a lot of players would have done in Nello's scenario here on the red stairs, is overreacted, tried to push back into side to try and get what the fake blitz rush is, to try and deal with that. Nello is aware, and he's talking to his team throughout it. Guys, it's a fake. Don't fall for it. He does end up dying on red stairs, but gets refragged. And this comes into what you're saying about Eminem, where they start slowing it down. They start being aware that this is what Wild are playing for. And then they end up winning this round because they just sit in sight, they don't overreact, they just wait for Wild to then go through and attack, basically. And it took Eminem a couple of rounds to wise up, but they got, 2 rounds straight off the back of that. And like I say, Nello doesn't get anything in stats for that, didn't get refragged, didn't get anything, but it was a really good play by him not to overreact and fall for the bait.
Couple that with the fact that Tyrant's still below. I think this time he was playing on the Legion. I think previously he was maybe on a mute or something like that, but still playing below and still just lurking, trying to find those players because you know that up nades are going to be popular when attacking onto that site and you've got to be there ready to deal with it. Again, it's the big point is no statistical benefit there for Nello to do what he did, but the round gets won for Eminem. And that was really the breaking point, I think, of that first half. They started to chain a couple together after that.
Did we know what site we were up to next?
Aviator.
Yeah, Aviator.
Huh. Okay, what do you think about that?
Yeah.
I guess do we see them do the same thing?
Yes, that's the first thing I like. Seeing a Frostban is like, man, Lotto's got to be smiling somewhere.
They honestly, so I looked into this and on Villa specifically. Eminem played a lot of Frost, every single site. They love the operator on this map. And it kind of makes, there's a lot of windows, there's a lot of entry points, trophy, you're thinking for the closet hold, AVG, you're thinking for, even just main stairs. Frost and going in 9 to window can be really annoying to deal with. And we know Wild like their
especially
funky
with the way that
as well.
Wild play.
Yeah.
Wild play quickly. They don't want to spend that time droning every inch of the map. If they know, right, we don't have to look down when we hop through a window now at all.
Barrels.
Exactly.
The breacher, they just run in.
Yeah, they
just run
breached
straight
it.
in.
They screamed up Astro Stairs, the pair of them.
That was round 3.
then split away. And it becomes that thing where if you also compare it with the first round, where they were successful in AVG, it was the plant behind the strategy table where they just saw opportunity over the top of red and they just went, we can try and get this down. They tried it again. Solitov, I think it was, just pushed his way around, but how close was that kit on the end of round 3, where if that had gone down, it might have spelled a different end to the round. It might not have spelled a different end to the round. And it begs the question now of, this round, do you think Wild are now going to try and put pressure underneath Brown, underneath the main stairs, around Art, where they know Tyrant's been playing, and the hold around Tyrant both times has gotten weaker and weaker. Eminem's pulled more stuff away from main stairs, expecting this red take.
I think Eminem could go back to stature as well, couldn't they?
No, they've already chosen the side.
Oh, they've already chosen the
so
side.
they have to go back.
Right, okay,
to
okay.
They hadn't chosen operators yet.
Yeah.
They just,
They had just got in, so the
Action
attackers
Face
can
was about to
repick.
start. Like, he disconnected 2 seconds before Action Face started.
so on rehost, it should be the same site, the same operators.
Yeah.
Same
So, like,
operators.
I guess it depends how much time we have or how much of a cheeky replay we could call of just that segment of the setup of the round where we crashed.
Replay the whole thing and cast it as a 5.
then we could see what the hold is, and
Yeah.
then we can...
But they can change that if they want.
Yes.
They can alter the hold, yes.
They could change the actual site setup, yeah.
Yeah, but the site selection and then the operators
Yeah,
selected
site selection
cannot
and
change.
operators, yeah.
By the way, for those just joining in that didn't know, over the past, 25 minutes or something?
It's been a bit of a one.
It's been a while.
It's been a while between the
19
casters
minutes and
devs.
21 seconds.
Thank you very much for that, Jack. There you go.
Checking it on the
So we've been waiting on more info, but currently it seems like some players in the UK specifically are having internet issues because for any UK viewers that are probably seeing this, then I don't know how because you have no internet. Yeah, but your cousin down the street maybe is with another ISP and has no problems with their internet. That's something that's out of everybody's hands in this case, and we're just waiting on admins and the Blast crew in the background to let us know what the official decision is. And everybody's doing a great job of filling.
I mean, this is why I'm glad you all just wandered back in.
Yeah. Took out my Ranky stack at 3 a.m. this morning. Did that one particular internet service provider. Yep.
Oh, well, we can't name names.
Can't name names. Titan, gone. Adrian, gone. Creed's gone. Out the stack. We was in the 2v5. It's just like, great. I guess our...
Did you win?
Well,
we lost.
Let's be honest. Real dedication to the Ranky stack means that you have a contract with 3 different ISPs just in case one goes down.
You tether.
Backups.
You tether.
Well,
a business account.
Even they're not.
Okay,
Even
I
they're
have a
not
business
bulletproof,
account
though.
at home.
tether.
They come back to me
Yeah.
if it goes down in 3 days, so that doesn't really help.
Not in France.
That's bad.
No, they
They just
strike.
don't come back to you. That's what I experienced.
They're on strike.
They
Right.
don't come back to me
Anyways,
at all for now.
That aside, what are we gonna do at this point?
Well, I mean, so
you talked about every single round.
I guess we go into the context of this
Aside
map. How
points.
much did we assume it was going to go into one side, and how much have we seen it maybe go away from that?
So we're saying that in this case, Wild don't have much to show on this, but Eminem also don't really like it too much because they like to move around the map. So a map like Chalet, which is the second one, is a better pick.
Yeah, I think you'd have to say, on the context of the 5 rounds we've seen so far, Wild winning 3 on the attack. When we consider Eminem defense merchants, if we're going to say it, Eminem are significantly better on their defenses. Yeah. So for Wild getting 3, it puts them in a good standing, on their map pick. And obviously they do have the benefit of having seen the VOD. Eminem have played it, I think, 3 times since stage 1 started. So, I would say Wild probably just about in the ascendancy at the minute.
I mean, something that you pulled out when we were watching this backstage was you thought, and I'm gonna call you out.
You pulled out.
You thought that Wild could win this 7-0 and Eminem still take the series based on the next 2 maps.
Me here.
Based on the next 2
You
maps.
sold me so much.
Now, that hasn't happened, obviously. There's no potential for this to be a 7-0. But I think if you're a Wild fan, you've got to temper your expectations based on the performance in this first map.
Yeah, I think Wild are in the ascendancy, right? But
absolutely. But will that translate into maps 2 or maps 3? Who knows? Obviously, the flip side, and something that's fairly obvious at this point, is a break in play is quite disruptive. just by its very nature. And the fact that we've been off for 20 minutes, probably a little bit longer at this point now, this map would have been well wrapped up by this
We're like
point.
an actual sport now. We've got half time.
It's half time.
It is, it's half time.
But it's
really
a weird
yet, but-
halftime.
It's a weird half time.
Unexpected halftime.
It's like we called halftime 5 minutes too early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just randomly in the middle of football games. Like, hey, you know what? Let's stop at 40 minutes today.
Yeah.
What do you think, Milos?
About what?
About the game?
Cats. Oh.
I mean,
We have to keep it game-centric. Cats is,
Do we though?
Cats is for the post-show.
Yes.
fair enough.
We're mid
Well,
show now.
look, what I'm still impressed with is just Wild's tenacity through this game. Because through this game and through the entire stage that they've had, this is something where, for all intents and purposes, the team is coming up with players that have some experience in the past, but it's so far back in the past that they're kind of revolute. You know, like you need to move forward from it. And most teams nowadays have been getting maybe one or two more experienced players and then building a whole team of mostly fresh talent in it. Not the case with Wild. And they actually do really well. Somehow everything fits so well together that they go up against Eminem, that we've seen Eminem tear it up over the past year and a bit. You may pick it up. And
I dropped my pen.
still, it has worked out well for Wild. So to keep it up here on Villa, a map that they haven't played before, and that Eminem have normally issues on, but still Eminem is, I would put them in the case of they are good enough to make any map work. They're not a team that I would just discount on any game.
So the longer this gets prolonged, obviously, to no fault of anybody,
Yeah.
is that a worse thing for Wild, who seemed to run out of steam a little bit yesterday in the best of three situation?
Honestly, we can go to break, but since we're still on the question, let's just go for this.
Okay.
Honestly, I think this would hurt both teams. I feel that Eminem are a team when things are going well, they just keep the ball rolling, and they'll eventually make it out. With Wild, I would still put that in for them because they have players that have been through these experiences in the past, and they can still, scrounge up everybody again. Like people like Aces, he's done this a million times. Like these are players that can still make it happen. And I don't think there's one team, despite the fact that this is a pretty long time to stop, that will have more of an advantage or disadvantage. But I would still consider that Eminem having the issues, specifically with UK internet, etc., it would take them a moment to get back in the swing of things, because you'd naturally be frustrated. Jack is frustrated that he lost his ranky at 3 a.m. He's still frustrated, and we are almost 6 p.m. the next day.
You just reminded me of it being harsh.
So I understand. So imagine you're in a game, in the middle of the most important game of this part of your career, where you win this, you qualify for the next biggest event of the year.
I mean, it's the difference between playing one game and playing 3 more to maybe make it.
And then it's not like it gets any easier. Not only are you playing more games, you're playing games against technically still very, very good teams that, unfortunately, due to the fact that only 6 teams could qualify from the group stage, are still there. It's a format shift that everybody has to adjust to, and BDS, Wolves, Koi, etc. have had to adjust to it in the same way.
Also, I just wanted to mention it. Yesterday, we saw Eminem play as well, because we've talked a lot about Wild. Eminem yesterday only won a single attack over the 11 rounds they've played on attack.
That's not good.
That's not good. It's like that brings that defense merch in even more, that they need to get these defensive rounds in, because...
And now they're going to be on attack after a frustrating delay.
Yeah, right. It's like 20 minutes.
You're attacking Villa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you wanted... but did Eminem kind of forfeit this map in some ways? Like, if you're just looking at the macro of a best of 3.
You never forfeit.
Okay? I know.
Oh, but you got to let one through, right?
But exactly. So you're like, okay, you know what? Anyways, we were going for Chalet. This is being more of our comfort space. So how much of an impact is it going to have on you? To be honest, I can crop it up to yesterday's game between Eminem and G2, right? You get 7-0 in the first map, no matter what you try. And I know, again, I hate to put you in the spotlight again, Jack. I know you despise the spotlight, but
You've really chosen the wrong profession.
I know. But specifically, remember when you talked about your days as staff with Chaos, and what it was like for you to prepare against a team like BDS, for example. You'd prepare all this much, you get into game, then you get rolled over. No matter all the preparation that you do.
Is there a point coming?
Yes, there is. It is.
Because I was turned out and now you're just dunking on me.
It's not you. You weren't playing. Anyways, you move on to here. Yesterday, Eminem play against G2. No matter how hard they try, and they are a good team in their own right, they got rolled over on map 1. But they go back to the second one, 6 minutes later or 10 minutes later, and they actually, put in 4 rounds on the board. 7-4 against G2, even though it's an L, is still not too shabby. The reigning team, the team that's the best in the world, that's taking over everything in the groups, yada yada. Still, I think that Eminem's resilience, despite the difficulty on a map 1, we have to zoom out and look at map balance and side balance from a best of 3 macro standpoint, and not just from you're swapping sides on the same map and it's not really the map you're comfortable with, yada yada.
Yeah.
There you go. He agrees with me. That's all I need. I got the validation.
I do agree with you, Milos. Yeah.
There you go. I haven't lost it yet. Give me a couple of years. Anyways,
I'll lose it if this game doesn't get started.
well, actually, on that note, since I guess we've exhausted the topics that are very game specific.
Hey, you're the host. You lead us.
I am the host.
You're the hostess with the mostest.
I'm here. Anyways, thank you very much. We're going to take like 10 minutes break or something until we get a resolution. Hopefully we'll be back to you with more info. Just to let you know, there's an internet problem that is outside of players, Blast, whatever's control, including Hap's control. So we're kind of just waiting.
For once. Even Hap.
There you go. Even Hap has no blame or control on this. So we'll take a quick break and hopefully we'll be back to you with more information. Hopefully the game very soon. Thanks so much. Hello, everybody. As you see, we're still waiting for official decision for internet to come back for some of the players, and we thought this is a good idea from our talent team to fill in with a bit of reading time because we all could use a bit of education, specifically around the art of Siege. This is a beautiful guide, and we have a lot of stuff here in our studio that is all about Siege and its history over the 25 plus years of Rainbow Six in general. So there you go. It's pretty incredible. But people like lore, and some others don't in Tarot. And we want to talk about, I guess, some operators that are in here. They're the original ops that are in the game. And I don't know if you can hear our talent team, but at least they can scream at me. Who would you like me to read about from the original lineup of...
Original
lineup.
Oh, Blitz.
Blitz. All right, we're gonna read about Blitz. What was? I don't know. I'm gonna ask you here since we're just chilling by the fire. That I hope there's no fire. That'd be a bit of a hazard.
I can light one.
No. But what was the latest book that you read? My latest one was
that one.
Is it Kafka? Franz Kafka. The transformation. What do you call it?
Comic. Snoopy and Charlie Brown.
Fair enough. It is quite good. It's at your education level. Sorry.
What?
I am trying to find Blitz. Should be next to IQ. There it is. There. Thank you, Emmy. It's not organized this way. Operators, GSG9. They're organized under their specific units. So Blitz, name, Elias Kutz. Date of birth, the 2nd of March, 1980. That was only a couple days ago. Can we give a happy birthday to Blitz?
Happy birthday, Blitz.
All right, thank you very much. So his education is training is from the Division Schnelle Kräfte. And his height is 5'9", short king.
What?
There you go. 11 stone, 12 pound. Don't even know what that is. So what did he say?
I don't have that into the spire.
I can hear you.
Oh, are we live?
Yes, I am reading.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Dad.
Got these kids these days. As a student in the Hermann Böse Gymnasium Secondary School bilingual program, Kutz excelled in both academics as well as in sport. His imposing physique made him an exceptional athlete, and he carried his experience on the field into his military training. His jovial nature and academic background eased the transition from a Schnelle Kräfte soldier in Kosovo to a member of GSG-9. Kutz was integral to establishing an anti-terrorism unit in India following the 2008 attack in Mumbai. Kutz has seen his share of battlefield horrors, but is mentally resilient. He sees humor to disarm others and to manage stress during operations. He's the first to rush a barricade and is always willing to put the team's safety over his own. Kutz rejects the idea of his acts being heroic and is self-effacing when praised. That's what I do. Ideal partner. Sledge. You heard it here first. Blitz and Sledge are together. Blitz is slow with practically no weapons, so partner him with a quick operator equipped with some impressive firepower like Sledge, who can use a shotgun for melee combat or a machine gun to wield at a distance. Moreover, when Sledge demolishes a barricade with his caber, Blitz can release a flash grenade seconds later to cover him. This is a bit changed, and it doesn't really apply in the same way, but you get my point. Tactical opposite, Bandit. Bandit's shockwire is Blitz's worst nightmare, as it can be fixed barbed wire to make an electrified trap that can prove deadly to this operator when using his tactical light shield. In this situation, his feet are exposed and unprotected. So Blitz had better watch his step. Expert advice. Blitz should monitor his surroundings carefully to avoid Bandit's electrified traps. In this case, they generally shed a few sparks and sometimes emit a faint crackling sound. When combining Blitz and Montagne, after locating defenders, use their respective shield/gadget to cover entrances to the room. Fire a flash to dazzle the defenders. Then clear room with gunfire. There you go. Next operator. Take that, NAL. Another operator. From the old, not Iana. We all have a crush on Iana, yes. Ash. There you go. Eliza, yes. Name, Eliza Cohen. Date of birth, 24/12/1983. Actually, that is very close to both of our birthdays.
I get a microphone.
Yeah, there you go.
Cat gets to use my microphone in small doses.
Whenever necessary. Education/training, Tel Aviv University, Israeli Defense Forces, demolition. Height, 5'6", short queen, 9 stone, 12 pounds, whatever that means. Cohen was born and raised in Jerusalem. Following secondary school, she enrolled at Tel Aviv University in engineering, where she also spent a semester abroad at Boston University.
Ooh.
After university,
I'll just keep adding.
yeah, you're the commentary.
Yeah, I'm like your hype person.
Thank you. You're my Ian Chambers. After university, she fulfilled her mandatory military service in the IDF. Her background in engineering made her a prime candidate for mechanical maintenance and demolitions. Her military training as a demolition specialist left Cohen with an inflated sense of self. There it is.
Same.
She can be aggressive, impulsive, and overly confident.
Also same.
She is quick to action and to judgment, which can be fatal for a person in her line of work. Ideal partner, Glass. Although Glass is not generally considered an easy agent to work with, he can make a winning combination with Ash. This is because both agents can benefit from their partner's respective unique abilities to eliminate enemy threats while keeping a safe distance. Like that, they call them agents also. In this case, the focus is on the different, teams that are in Rainbow Six. When Ash blows open a wall, Glass is the perfect backup, taking advantage of the breach and using his flip sight to eliminate their adversaries.
Do you know she's in a coma?
Is she?
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
And Harry, big Chad moment.
Well, he's not in a coma. He's dead. Milosh, the medic. And you weren't there to help him.
Why weren't you there?
You're a medic. What's your medic?
He's got Doc. Why is it on me? Where was Rook? Huh? Where's the armor?
That's true. That's very true. His whole thing is wearing things that would have solved that issue.
You have one job.
One job.
Give it to him, honestly.
Screwed it up.
That's true.
It's time to fire Rook.
Fire Rook.
Hashtag fire Rook.
I mean, they fired Harry, or at Harry.
Yeah.
Didn't fire him.
Fire at Harry. But what did he say specifically?
I'm going to shoot you in your chest.
I do find you incredible. Now, if you don't mind, I do find you incredibly boring.
No, that's not what he said.
What?
He had another word in there.
I thought he said, and I started blasting.
It was a swear word, actually, Milosh.
Wow.
Anyways, tactical opposite Jaeger. What? Tactical opposite Jaeger. Ash's breaching round can be countered by Jaeger's active defense, which can destroy any type of projectile before it reaches its target. This includes grenades and the charges launched by Ash. There you go. Next up, who would you like?
Who would I like?
What would you like me to talk about?
You know who I'm going to ask for, don't you?
Yana, no Yana.
Yana?
Yeah, Yana?
No.
Oh.
What about Rook, considering
Who
we
does-
decided we wanted to fire him?
Okay, wait. And Wheel, in this time... Oh, we're on camera now. Hi. We'll ask chat who chat wants and then get back to you for the next one, because that's about 3 minutes
Yeah,
away.
but for now, Rook.
Rook. Julien Nizon. Date of birth, 06/01/1990. I don't know if this is set as...
Say date of birth or gave birth?
Date of birth.
Oh.
But could be also. I'm
Never know.
completely with you. Education/training, gendarmerie. Height, 5'9", short king. Weight, 9 stone, 12 pounds. They're all weigh 9 stone, 12 pounds. This is really odd. In school, Nazan excelled in sport, particularly in athletics. The youngest son of a working-class family. He enlisted with the National Gendarmerie at 18 and was assigned to the Highway Patrol Unit. During basic training, Nazan discovered his aptitude for firearms, a skill that he would continue to develop and master during his time with the Gendarmerie. Nazan's skill with a rifle caught the attention of the GIGN. Nazan is idealistic and trusting. He can be impulsive and must force himself at times to remain on task. When his focus is clear, he's decisive and driven to complete the job at hand. Ideal partner, Doc. I know a lot of fanfic about that. Doc and his formidable stim pistol would seem the ideal partner for Rook with his armor pack, as both possess a gadget capable of increasing the chances of survival for the entire team. A winning duo, both on paper and on the ground. Tactical opposite, Fuse. Attacker Fuse can use his cluster charge with 5 explosive mini grenades that will cause extensive damage to an entire room. This makes it highly likely that Rook's armor pack, which is generally placed on the ground, will be destroyed. Next up, do we have something from chat yet?
Not yet.
I can read something extra.
We can read some of what chat said.
Expert advice. Yeah, actually, what do you have?
We'll read some of chat. Start the G2 game.
Yeah, start.
We can't.
There's people that are suffering the internet down. There's English people on that team as well. That's why.
I'm all for Anglophobia, but in this case.
Yeah.
I saw
People are
someone
saying
else-
you're like the
Bob Ross.
the
of
Bob Ross of
Siege.
Siege.
I mean, Barros is
Do
fantastic.
you think you would suit an afro?
I need to show you photos from my teenage years.
Had afros?
Very long hair. I was in
We
my
need
metal
more
head.
books.
We need more books,
Someone
apparently,
said. What other books do we have?
We can read books that are
Dan Brown.
like the public use that are not covered in.
Any copyright?
Yes.
Everyone is taking, when you say they work well with that, as a relationship thing, and someone has said Sledge and Blitz are now a ship.
Yeah,
I'm shipping it.
them.
I ship it. I mean, I ship Doc and Rook.
Nice.
Also, I saw someone else say that they want a Yana lore as well, so you might just want to make some up.
I think just improvise.
There's
some
already
fun-
stuff about it.
Her
I don't
name
want to anger the lore.
Her name is
nerds.
Nienke Meijer. You can.
Wait, I need my phone for this.
That's cheating.
No.
There's a lore page online.
That's
Just
not
gonna
a
find
book.
that. This is an electronic.
Yes, it is. Ayana, Rainbow Six Wiki. Rainbow Six lore book.
Chat demands Yana, yeah?
How do you say Nienke?
Nienke.
Nienke
Meijer.
Nienke Jana Meijer is an attacking operator featured in Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, introduced in the Operation Void Edge expansion alongside Oryx.
Can you do it more ASMR?
It's a request.
Meyer's mother was the lead engineer on the Huygens atmospheric structure instrument that landed on Titan. That's been vaulted. Encouraged to reach for the stars from an early age, she earned her bachelor's in aerospace engineering at the Koninklijke Militaire Academie.
Koninklijke Militaire Academie. Academie. Sorry, I'm just speaking Dutch now because.
Koninklijke? What is it?
Koninklijke.
Koninklijke? Koninklijke?
Ja.
Militaire
Academie.
Academie.
Yeah.
Okay.
We finally got chat caught up, and they're asking for who they want to hear about.
Well, we're finishing up, Jan.
Okay. I'm
Meyer
sorry.
later applied to become a fighter pilot in the Royal Netherlands Air Force. Unfortunately, her albinism meant that she had compromised retina and her application was refused. She changed her focus to systems engineering and earned her master's in embedded systems at the Delft University of Technology. She also studied at the Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Laboratory. Meyer eventually developed contact lenses that overcorrected her genetic deficit while integrating a state-of-the-art AR overlay. To earn her doctorate in geoinformation science, Meyer joined the ESA network and partnering initiative. This gave her the first taste of where she longed to be. Meyer later joined the European Astronaut Corps and collaborated with the NASA Virtual Reality Laboratory. She participated in Project Sidekick in 2015 and traveled to the International Space Station. Her success in the project secured her mission and her spot in the planned NASA Expedition 67 mission. Returning to Earth only fueled her desire to explore the farthest reaches of the cosmos, no matter the cost. She pioneered topographical mapping software that allows her to project a real-time, virtual copy of herself to anywhere, visible by satellite or drone. It was this technology which caught the eye of Elena Mira Alvarez, and subsequently Six.
That was good.
Who else?
So we have a bunch.
We have the
A
fandom.
lot of people said Iana.
I mean,
Yeah, a lot did actually.
So that was fulfilled now.
We have Thermide.
We can do
Someone
Thermide.
said Mummy Mirror.
Was that bikini?
Wouldn't be surprised if it was We also have Milosh lore,
Can you give us a Milos law?
Shaiko
boy.
lore.
Shaiko.
I don't know that much about him.
Can you do any impressions?
Jaeger.
Fresh.
We have Jaeger questions coming through.
We got Jaeger. Jaeger from the OGs. We can.
Doing a Q&A with chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to get involved?
No, I was.
You could type a question in chat and I'll read it right now.
So,
I can't ask that fresh.
oh, Jaeger. Name, Marius Streicher. Date of birth, 9/03/1978. Education/training, Karlsruhe Institute of Technology. Height, 5'11", same. 10 stone, 12 pound. Raised by his uncle, a former mechanic for what would become the BPOL Aviation Group following the reunification, Streicher would follow in his footsteps as a helicopter technician. There, for the federal police, he began designing defensive weapon systems, including a ground-based active defense system, prototype that caught the attention of the GSG-9. Streicher is highly creative and curious, with a strong desire to serve. He tends to lack humility, and whilst he has a remarkable acumen for complex machinery, he's not adept at reading social cues. Coupled with his boisterous character, he can be a bit abrasive. Ideal partner, Mute. We're shipping that. A Jaeger-Mute combination works pretty well because Jaeger's active defense constitutes an excellent shield from Mute's signal disruptors. So, if an explosive, particularly an EMP, is thrown at the signal disruptor to destroy it, the grenade will be instantly neutralized by the active defense.
Fascinating.
Fascinating indeed. I would say so.
We've had a poll, Milosh.
Oh boy.
Between Sledge, IQ, Smoke, Mute, and Tachanka, who do you think won?
Who started that?
I think any mod.
Any mod did.
I don't know who.
Every mod.
A mod or
Who are they?
The
again?
mod. We are the mods.
Who are the people or the operators in
Sledge, IQ, Smoke, Mute, and Tachanka.
Tachanka?
Yeah, by 74% of the votes.
There was a couple of other questions in the meantime as well.
Yeah. How do you have
what-
such a beautiful beard?
How do you have such a beautiful beard? What's your regimen?
I end up losing the hair on the top to fill it.
You just pluck it
Oh,
off.
now we're
It's
on picture-in-picture.
Middle Eastern jeans.
Good luck,
There you go.
Milosh.
Let me
Look at
look
this
this up.
production quality
What's
we
happening
have.
with Milosh that he needs luck?
It's hap, fluke, and sometimes fresh.
What are you doing with Milosh?
What?
It says good luck,
Good luck, Milosh.
Thanks.
Hi. Well,
Fresh is teleporting right now. He's coming over.
Fresh is going all the way. All the way.
And back he goes.
He's gonna conga around the
Wait,
studio.
Is there anything you
This
can
is like a
hand us?
TF2 server.
You could
What do you
hand
want
us
to hand us?
something.
What?
From the split on the middle, you could
I could.
Like we could
make
grab
a
it.
heart. Do a heart. This is such a failure.
I have an overinflated.
I'm gonna hear.
This is tragic. This is.
Shut up, Emmy.
There you go. This is not a usual pose for my full high wrist.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways,
Tachanka.
Alexander Sinaviev.
Do I have to be on the camera the whole time? Can we get a super close up on Milosh? Just get like in as tight as possible.
Born into a Red Army family, Sinaviev enlisted when he turned 18. When the Soviet Union pulled out of Afghanistan, Sinaviev was transferred to the Spetsnaz Alpha Group shortly before the government collapsed. Cool under fire, Sinaviev harbors a cheerful, if
Funny thing.
acerbic,
Do funny things.
Well, we're
Sorry,
still
no,
on
just-
camera.
outlook.
I feel like I've got to say funny things.
He has a limited social filter, which has gotten him into trouble with teammates in the past. Someone else? I mean, we can do of the new ones. To be fair, we have the technology.
Whoa!
Whoa!
What?
A 70s happen fluke.
I saw people say read the Brava comic.
So people are like, why are we doing this? And we're doing this because A,
Actually-
you guys want packs. B, I want to get fed today, and we have to do a certain amount of work before I think
Yeah,
otherwise-
before you get your
Otherwise
luck
we
back.
don't get.
We have like the best day of food as well. Like
Yeah.
It's beef look lac
beef
day.
look
If you've
lac
never
day.
had beef look lac, you'll have it. B,
E
So, Brava?
F, G,
LOCLAC.
NAL.
Oh, we're having like a film filter right now.
Ah.
Production is just enjoying
From the
time, too.
olden times.
Hey, production, could you pull up the comic actually of Bravo so Milosh can read it out?
I
with the
doubt
chat?
it.
I'm
I mean,
opening
we
it
never know.
here.
Try.
You never know.
Who sees?
I can pull it off. Wait.
Yeah, but then you have to be very close to the camera so they can see.
Yeah, they would have to see it.
It's part of these siege stories.
I think you should sort your life out.
I'm trying.
Have you seen on Nighthaven? This is a throwaway. This is a fun fact. Everyone needs to give a fun fact about Siege. Mine is that there's 3 boxes of cereal on the Nighthaven Labs map. One of them is just called Brick. And you can go and check that. The other one is called Toadies. and one is called Alouette.
If you're in Villa, that's my fun fact, you can zoom in with the Kali scope to one of the clock towers. You can see Ezio di Auditore. Sitting on
Ezio
top.
Auditore.
Auditore. Sorry, I'm not Italian. See him on top of the...
That's a car.
No, that's not a car.
Auditore.
Other car brands are available.
Yeah, we also have Ezio Ferrari Ditore or something like that. So.
Is
How
it?
does this have 12,000 viewers?
Is it part of? It's not in Solar Raid. Why? What's? Is it the one? Because the latest one was
Let me
released
quickly on your...
on February 15th.
Like right now says go.
Oh, now we're okay. Can I just...
If you have the link, send it.
I will when I have it. I have my personal mic right now that's come a bit too close into my... I think I have it in a second. Comic. Spoiler. I found it, I think. Wait,
Okay,
no, this is just a single page out of it.
Okay.
I'm still trying to find it.
I have other ones, you know.
You realize if you two are going to read the comic, you have to do the voices of the operator.
Well, 100% we will do that.
I'm not
We
gonna
can
read
cast
it.
it. So, wait, who's in it?
Wait. We might not be able to do that one if it's not fully available. But on the wiki, we have. I think they're
Ollie,
like,
you can be Thermite.
are they short comics, right? They're like 3 or 4 pages, or are they longer?
She's
Hap.
It's American.
Are they 3 or 4 pages or much longer? Okay, so I have most of them except for the last one.
What's the last one you have? Is it the silhouettes?
Where is it? It's Solar Raid.
Yeah, I mean you held it. So let me come over and see which one that you actually have because
Solar
it makes it
Raid.
easier. All right, keep open it. No, but that's the last one. That's not the new Bravo one.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That's where it ends.
No, because I've read the entire other comic.
I know, but it's not on the
wiki.
wiki, so.
Whoever does the wiki, you need to do it quicker.
So do you want to do the Solar Raid one?
We could do the Solar Raid. I'm still looking for the Bravo one, but I think I can find it in a little bit.
I don't know. This is very complicated.
It is. That's why I said if we can pull it up, then it's easier.
Yeah. Can I send the link to production?
Once I've found it,
Yes.
I will.
I'm sending it to a producer. So we can pick one of these. They're here in the stories. I will pick them just so production has an easier time.
Yeah, that's all good.
We can do the latest one, Solar Raid. It's all the way at the bottom, and then you can see the total of 10 pages for the comic.
10 pages. You want production to just scroll through that?
No, just show them on the screen.
Fleek, where are you according to the camera?
We
Be entertaining. Jeez.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna have to cast this at some point, but we don't really exactly know who's on there. In the meantime,
I'm working on getting it as quickly as I can.
let's read something. I think is Bikini Body watching this? Is Secure Area his favorite?
What's
Game
your
mode.
favorite Rainbow Six line, and do it as they say it?
Mine?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in trouble for swearing.
Yes.
Do it. What are they going to do?
Can
Swear
we?
in the game.
I'll go for a different one.
Mine's Zafia, where she sounds like Shrek. She goes, "Hello there."
Hello there.
That sounds like Derry.
Josh, we've got a question.
Well,
It's a repeated question in the chat.
yeah.
How do you counter Monty?
Well, let's see what our book says. To me, it seems like I am merely a Legion 1 trick. So usually I don't really have too many problems other than Alt F4ing. Whereas with Montagne, tactical opposites. Despite his formidable shield, Montagne is not immune to the toxic gas released from Smoke's grenades. Furthermore, as Montagne moves quite slowly, the noxious cloud could prove lethal if he stays exposed for too long. Nor is he protected from the electric charges released by the traps, barbed wire, etc., that have been electrified by bandit shock wires. Now, we know you can just shoot those, but...
Twitch chat. If you honestly think If you honestly think we're doing this instead of the games Twitch chat, what are you talking about? Like, I know we're not supposed to rant at Twitch chat, but the people that are like, why are they doing this? Why aren't the games going on? Didn't you stop for a second to think that there's a reason? Haven't you seen anything anyone has posted on Twitter, on anything? Or can you not see the word break in the top corner? Read!
Which is what we're trying to do here, actually.
break.
Thank you very much for joining, because we're trying to help you read some more.
Happy birthday. Thank you for watching. We love all of our viewers. All of you are so special to us here at EUL EMEA. Kiss. Mwah.
I'm still finding the...
You're the one.
What?
You're the camera.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you for watching all of EUL and EMEA. We have Milosh and his jokes. Hap has fallen and can't get up. Happy birthday. Have a good time. Bye, Fresh. The game is paused. It now says at the bottom.
Is it paused? I thought they were playing.
Spot now. Did you ever know that you're me?
Emmy, what is your favorite book?
I don't know.
I know it's been a while, like since
Can't read.
the internet has, understandable, but like since the internet has taken over more and more of our lives, I find that we have been reading way less. Because
This is a strange, real segment.
genuinely, as a child, I regularly went to my local library. Was, you know, shout out to I guess the French embassy in Lebanon that had different libraries in major cities, and in my city there was one that I not literally rated, but I went to every week to replace the 6 or 7 books or comics I would read. It was fun. It was all
I
fun.
love books.
Do you have like favorite comic strips?
Opening them, smelling them.
Do you have like favorite comic strips or something?
I like Peanuts.
Fair.
Good one.
Did you
Snoopy.
ever read, because this is coming from my, I guess, francophone background in this.
Yeah.
So we read a lot of Asterix and Obelix.
It's very French.
Lucky Luke. Tintin.
Oui.
They call them different things in Tintin and Milou, you know it?
No, I don't know if you say
Tim and Stroopy for Germans, they would know him at that. Huh?
What is it?
Is a Belgian guy.
Tintin. That was a book.
Yeah, Tintin, in it. With the,
Alright.
with
I need
the
to
orange
get
hair
personal.
at the front. What?
Guy Fieri. We call him Guy
Guy Fieri, yes.
Let me Google.
Actually, what are they called in your language?
Well, I mean, I guess as soon as Emmy sees, then she'd know.
Yeah, I know they call him Tim and Stroopy in German.
Yeah, Tintin. I literally just
Yeah.
said Tintin. You don't have to Dutch it up. He's Belgium anyway.
That's true.
They're like the same.
Did you know there's only one woman that appears in the entire series? And it's Castafiore, the singer that they constantly complain about. It's very much a product of its time, I have to say. Anyways,
I remember when this show was about Siege.
I remember when the game was going, so it seems like so far away. Though otherwise, what are your favorite books, Hap?
I don't really read books.
Yeah, but back when you were a kid, when you actually had the mental...
So when I needed to do that for school, for high school,
Yeah.
I read the summaries and managed to ace the test that way.
Don't do that.
I've read The Theory of Everything, though.
What is that?
Stephen Hawking.
No,
Theory of
I have.
Everything. It's literally the theory of everything.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Ollie, do you have a favorite book?
You put me on the spot here.
I mean, it might be none.
I haven't read a book in a long time.
Comic,
Not really into comics.
magazine.
No, you know what I really want to read?
Yeah.
I really want to read some of the really longer books like Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. I really want to
Yeah.
read those.
Oh, highly recommend it. This
I
side
tried to
note.
listen to them, but
There's
Why is the camera still on us when there's like
I don't know.
30 cameras in this room? Trade places.
see, this is no good.
I've been on camera the whole time.
I can't be on double mic.
Oh, you can't.
I can't stand here. I'm too tall.
They
there we
moved
go.
the camera up. No worries. Wait.
Hello, everybody.
Wow. You're so tall.
You actually say that, but someone literally just posted, hey, that's XR Striker, the tall guy that's sometimes on a UL. I was like, yeah, that's me.
Handing me.
That's Anne's.
Mike. That's Anne's box.
That's Anne's box.
That's better. There you go.
That's perfectly fine.
Look like a very dysfunctional family. Yeah.
What's it like?
See,
Being
this
so.
is why I've not done it yet, because I know that I'm just going to get tripe questions from you.
Well, look, let's ask you about Fresh. What do you think about him?
Oh, he's gone now, hasn't he? We can talk about him.
That's what I'm saying.
I hate him.
No, Fresh is fine.
No, he's all right.
It's all right.
He's just other Dez, isn't he?
He's like a less Dez version of Dez.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's like secondary Dez.
Ooh.
Who wins in a fight?
Secondary Dez sounds like a...
Dez 100%. Dez would play dirty, and we talked about it yesterday. If Dez and Jack were to fight, Derry would not pull any punches.
I like how I don't even have an earpiece. I'm just entirely untethered to what is going on.
Unhinged.
I was ready to cast. You get yourself in a very particular mindset when you cast. And I'm now lost. Adrift. Alone.
Do you feel like in the next day you would wake up having transformed into an insect?
A bug.
Yeah. What?
Game paused.
Game is paused, yes. We're not just letting them play. Since Jack here, can we open up his mic for a moment? He's gonna plug it in. Give it a sec.
Give him a second.
All right, let's pull back a bit more towards the video game, Rainbow Six Siege. Jack.
Thank you. Hi.
Hey, who do you think is going to be nerfed next?
Oh.
I know everybody likes to farm the impressions on Twitter, but you got to say it here too.
Who is going to be nerfed next?
Who do you think should be?
I mean, the better question is who should be nerfed next?
Yeah.
Azami. Azami, Solace. Dokkaebi.
That's the top three.
Nook.
Warden.
Ying.
Why?
Ying.
Not Warden. Ying.
He's had it too good for too long.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
If you
no,
nerf the others, you don't need to nerf Warden as much.
that's true.
Dokkaebi needs a massive.
Dokkaebi needs a huge nerf.
The fact that they made her a free speed.
Why are you just cutting to random?
Everybody's
different
off cameras. Just.
What? Okay, look. What would you change about Dokkaebi? How?
I would make her not free speed.
Fair.
Take her back down to 2. I don't know. She's got access just to a lot of utility. She's got the DMR. She's got the smoke. She's got the EMPs. She's got gun 6. Has she? Maybe. She's got the secondary SMG as well. But the calls taking people who are dead off cameras as well makes her significantly strong.
I think you could change just that, and it'd be a lot better.
Yeah.
The change it back.
Dokkaebi's one of them.
Yeah.
Like she's so strong side of competitive.
Yeah.
But in ranked, it's a completely different story.
Yeah.
So she's a weird one to try and balance. She's like Castle, but on the other end. So Dokkaebi, Azami is way too strong. So is Solace. Although Solace is a little bit more situationally strong.
Mm-hmm. How about Brava? How are you feeling about Brava?
I love Brava.
Brava's great.
I haven't got to play Brava.
Doesn't have
Go on, then.
season pass.
No, I do.
Load up, Holly.
Oh.
Load
I
up.
do. It's any time that I've been playing, someone has been
sorry.
trying to get clips
Sorry.
for Brava.
Sorry.
Is it for the
What, Jack?
It's not just you. There's other people there as well. But I don't really find for me, I don't find like the mini games of capturing utility. I don't find that like too interesting.
The funniest thing about Brava in the ranked arena is I play a lot of Brava, right? So
the ranked arena?
in the ranked arena, in the ranked Coliseum. In the ranked Coliseum, is I play Brava, I steal a couple of cams, and I'm in a 1v2.
But they just
and
get
I'm
shot.
still in spawn.
But they just get shot because your teammates just insta-shoot the cams because they're just like, you know what,
no.
bang.
The amount of times when we play Theme Park, I'm like, guys, I'm going to take arcade cam. Do not shoot arcade cam. And I've stolen it within 5 seconds. 30 seconds later, I'm just
you
on
shoot
arcade
without
cam.
realising.
The Iana's walking along. Ping.
Jack.
Shoots the arcade cam. It's so annoying.
Let's be honest, though. You've practiced since forever now, since the addition of the map in 2017, for example, for Theme Park, and through its iterations.
Oh, it's muscle memory.
To literally always come in, just
But it's
shoot,
still very
shoot
annoying.
the defaults.
Very annoying still.
I agree. Maybe teammates need to listen.
That's a call out to my stack. You know who you are.
Who? Call them out. Give me names.
It's Creed. That's all I'm going to say.
There you go. I mean, that's all you need
At
to
this point, has this been more of the show than the show?
Yes.
say. Is our viewership good?
We've gone up.
Well, there you
Close
go.
to 13,000 viewers.
Mission accomplished. So that's all we need to know.
And here his game is paused.
Anyway,
The shirt goes well with the colour theme
does.
of the day.
I see. He looks nice
like a
and
disc
lean in
now.
it.
I can't win.
I like this
The
comment in
camera's
chat.
not going to flinch.
Ollie,
For those wondering,
doesn't
the
he
game is
look
being
nice and
played,
lean
they
in
just
this?
don't cast it.
Fresh looks great today.
Yeah.
It looks great every day.
Yeah, but like I like this. I think it fits him.
I think the
rejuvenates
colours,
him.
yeah,
Yeah.
you look younger.
This shirt used to fit me, and I got a bit fatter. That's why I've got to open it up.
You look great, Jack.
But anyway, I'm going to have a milkshake and a kryptonite just so I can cry.
Welcome to the real analysts of Rainbow Six. That's our after hours broadcast,
Yeah.
or during hours for some.
I am blinking.
I'm going to go get a
I'm
chat.
still just reading chat.
What is there? Let's
Well,
tune
there's
back in.
people.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are they
Sure.
saying?
Two casters should do a 1 versus 1, and the other two casters should commentate it. So we should have a physical
What I was
fight,
going to say, what is the nature of the 1 versus
physical
1?
altercation.
We could do 1 versus 1 rock, paper, scissors. We could
Or
do
siege.
Good. That wouldn't be great to
1 versus 1
Commentate.
siege.
1 versus 1 seed.
I got my laptop with me.
Being tall isn't great. Imagine having to constantly duck for trees and on the bus. How many trees do you
He
have
cuts
to duck
trees.
I nearly hit my head on some not scaffolding, some like umbrella outside a shop today. So yeah, it is a problem.
G2 has commented in the chat. They've said, leave his army alone on our chat about who to nerf.
Ah, of course.
You're making too much money.
No,
Stop.
G2 already hate me.
Well, now they hate you more.
Yeah.
I like G2 because they sent me their skin.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Same.
Hint, hint, wink, wink, every other org.
If you want us,
Didn't send one
we're
to me.
really easily bribed.
Doesn't take much. Now you
Hatchback.
understand why they talk so much about G2. Not as much about Wild, but
Leave Warden alone. There's a lot of complications about his army. Buff Blitz.
no.
Oh, okay.
Bit of a meme.
Didn't even notice Doc was a 3-speed. Dockerby.
Dokkaebi.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
That's the
changed
problem.
that
There are so
a
many
while
good
ago.
things about Dokkaebi. It's like, where do you even start?
What is it? Like a year ago when that change came in, right? Because we were asking players in interviews and post games, like, "Yo, what do you think about this?" Like, "Whoa, can't wait to constantly play Dokkaebi at 3
Then they
speed."
made her a 3-speed, yeah.
I mean, that was the moment. Like, I think it was a year ago, right?
No, more recent.
Really?
I remember
Or was it-
I was
Yeah.
co-streaming one of the majors when they announced it. I think it was
So mixed.
Yunchipping. And I remember I fell off my chair laughing that they were making Dokkaebi a 3-speed.
It was just before, wasn't
Hey,
it?
it would have been.
Didn't they make changes just before?
I think that it was announced at Yunchipping because it was on the Monday of Yunchipping, wasn't it? The reveal. Because normally we're doing the desk for the announcement.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's the final
Yeah.
Sunday, but it was actually on the
the week before?
It was the week before, so I think it was then. Because I remember I was co-streaming when the changes came out. Sorry, I've just plugged myself. I won't be the first. I'm not the last.
We're used to it.
Yeah.
Good to admit. Anything else from the chat?
Brava nerf should be that capturing an Maestro or an Echo should use 2 charges rather than 1.
Oh,
I don't
interesting.
think Brava needs a nerf though.
No,
She's fine.
'cause
Brava's too new.
The thing is the Brava. The thing when you steal stuff with Brava is it's massively obvious it's stolen. So,
But
like,
is it
the fact-
massively obvious it is being stolen?
Yeah, because you hear it. You hear the little. I don't
it's
know.
very.
quite a
It's,
chunky
it's obvious.
drop.
Yeah, yeah,
But then also if you
But that's
steal
the
a
thing.
Maestro cam, it's now like bright blue, glows up, so you can see it.
One of the only things I will say about Brava is the drone is very quick.
The drone's
It's
quick,
quick.
and the drone's quiet.
Yes,
It's quick and
very
quiet.
The amount of times you can drive a drone just past somebody
Yeah.
and they don't have a clue is
The
incredible.
quiet Twitch drone style.
Yeah. Like when Twitch drones are really quick.
Yeah. Fair enough. I can understand
You
the
keep
frustration.
referencing things from our memories, Milos. We've got to stop.
What?
Sorry.
What sort of thing?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay. What else? About the other regions. Who's because I know MENA qualifies tomorrow, right?
Yes, they do.
Who's in from APAC? From
oh my
from
God.
Sandbox and
down,
down D plus.
So
yeah, D plus
which is
Kia.
down 1 Kia.
it's
Yeah.
not APAC anymore, Milos.
Yeah, I know, but my brain is still.
It's
That's the Korean team,
Rest Gaming and
Ooh,
Another
no,
Japanese
No,
team?
you're wrong.
I mean,
Scars
be
and North
careful going for
Scars
memory.
were a big surprise.
Well, I don't have a memory. I'm like
Honestly,
fish.
the APAC North teams from Japan last year, i.e. Fnatic, CAG,
Fell
and
off.
Fav, fell off hard.
Oh, yeah.
Two of them finished bottom, CAG. And they're all
Where
off
was
to play through
Fnatic?
the open quals now. Fnatic finished bottom of their group in Japan League.
Ow, wow.
I don't think they won a game. I'm going to double check. Fav did not win a game. Fnatic did not win a game. Cyclops finished second, but then lost in playoffs.
Yeah, they bottled it. What is... Oh.
So, yeah. Who else, Milosh, do you want?
OCE.
OCE, well, that was decided quite early. Is that Bliss? That was decided like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
They were the first team qualified.
Because they started a week before us and they have more days, I guess, concentrated.
Yep. And I think that's it from the Asian Pacific teams in terms of who's decided, because they play, especially like the Southeast Asia and the South Asians, they play quite a late qualifier. It's like a week or two before the major to get that phase 1 slot.
Cool. NA?
Dark Zero.
Spoit.
M80.
M80.
Well, that's still a sore spot in my heart.
Oh, wow.
A sore spoit.
You're right.
Thank you. Look at that.
Whoa. That's
I
a,
ran out of momentum.
that's a new
We have
sub
it all
gif.
here at
Quite
BUL.
smooth.
What other regions am I missing?
Can you do that on your chat?
Brazil.
Brazil is the class L
No, I need
Classico.
more for this.
Yeah, phase and liquid.
Phase Liquid.
Where's
Sailors.
NIP?
That's going to go.
It was W7M who made it in the decider game.
Yeah.
They beat Lost 1, I want to say.
Who's in the last chance quals?
There's quite a lot. I think it's quite a big playoff bracket, if I remember rightly. I think there's like 10 teams or something.
That's a lot of teams.
Men are tomorrow, by the way. It's
Oh,
very
yes.
exciting.
Oh, yes.
So-
GK and
Falcons.
Falcons. Ooh.
So the situation with Mena is that Falcons currently top on 17 points. They play tomorrow up against, I want to say it's Triple Esports, who are in third, which is quite a good game. And then GK are in 15 points, so 2 points behind Falcons. So Falcons need to basically
tiles
just
in
get
the
an overtime
bathroom.
loss
Yeah.
and they're through.
And I think that matchup specifically that really matters starting later on in the evening. I think around
Last game of the day for
11:30.
the Falcons.
Yeah. So it definitely is the highlight. I might pop in on the official stream for that. Who knows? See
Yeah,
how
I
that
mean,
works.
NA's on, but Falcons better.
NA. Yeah.
Well, Spoit's not playing, so it's not worth watching.
That's it. Honestly, it is still a sore sport. Why is my screen?
You're old timey. Whoa, we're back.
Unbelievable.
Is Jack Japanese or just pixelated in there?
I like it.
Fair
What
enough.
are you doing?
I'm getting distracted by
This
it
isn't
now.
even to the audience. This is to production. What are you doing? I'm the only one on this stage that does not have you in my ear. I am
They're
allowed
not
to
talking to us, to be fair.
ask the questions.
Do we do? Is there food here?
They're just having fun.
Production just likes to have fun.
To be fair, if the food is here, we could show the chat Beef Lock
A
Live.
lot
We
like.
could.
Wow.
We should
because
have an update on the map, on the game, by the way, in
I've told
5
my
or 10
friends
minutes.
a lot about Beef Lock Luck.
Have you?
Yeah.
Do you want to do a what do you call it?
Honey, Beef Lock Luck.
What?
Huh?
Where you eat and stream?
Da 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 da.
We look like Han Solo.
Oh, Milosh just put... Sorry, Milosh. Somebody's put on Reddit,
Oh
what's
no.
the event etiquette? Because they're scared that they might do something bad if they meet Ace, Des, Kanto, or Milosh.
Why me?
They want to kiss you.
They
and
can't
hug you.
meet Kanto. 'cause
Well,
he
don't
can't
do
go.
that.
It's
Don't do
Han
that.
Solo.
And to be honest, I don't know who from the talent is still going. We're waiting on that info. I guess none of us
Yeah.
are
We
locked
hope
in.
that
for
we're
it.
all there,
We would love to, but
but I guess that will be revealed as
if I'm there and don't do what Emmy just said. Like don't try to kiss me.
no,
Don't try that with anybody. By the
no,
way,
unless they consent and you're in love.
yes. Well, my wife would have an issue with that. So
You're not married yet.
Not your wife
we
yet.
will
You're
be.
not your wife yet.
I'm getting used to it.
You got a couple weeks. What do you mean you're getting used to it?
Well, sometimes when I'm playing games, I swap the ring to the other
It just
hand.
means you're not used to calling her your fiance.
I definitely am not.
Well, there you go.
I mean,
What's Fabian? How's Fabian doing? Is he in chat?
He was
It
in
wasn't
chat earlier,
people
yeah.
they smell, yeah.
No, that sounds like Fabian.
yeah, somebody was typing on my account. Thanks. This is why I'm logged in. I also want the drops. I think I have like 160 packs already.
How
I
many
forget to log in all the
R6
time.
points does Milosh have?
231,000.
I have my thing. I have never put a single bet, even when we were allowed, because when I started, they were not allowed.
Because you've still got that few points.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking.
Like, surely you'd get more points.
No,
I've got
from not
1.9
betting.
million.
You have 1.9 million?
Yeah, I had 2.9 million, but NA
No, him.
significantly trolled the other day.
Yeah,
I
but
lost a lot.
he gets them because he gets to do that, but I don't do it.
Yeah, but you get points for...
You don't really get much.
Yeah, you get some, though.
You really don't get much.
You have it open all the time.
No, actually, depending on the days.
When's the games, bruh?
Not
Say
on
something
other
in Twitch chat.
broadcasts,
Bruh. Sorry.
and definitely not at majors or like events.
Yeah, you always miss out at events.
Yeah, so the biggest
Well, you got to leave
concentration.
it on in your room.
I'm pulling chats from other places now. Pulling questions from other places.
Oh, wow, okay.
This is from the Reddit live chat.
Oh no! Head on to the Reddit live
Seeing
chat.
Ollie made me think. If Furia aren't in Siege anymore, who's his favourite team?
Oh, okay. I don't really have a favourite team at the minute.
Yeah, you do.
Pish posh.
I feel like I've gone through that phase. Who's my favourite team then?
Yeah, you do. Come on, you know. You know who it is. Say it.
Yeah, you know who it is. Say
You
it.
know who it is.
Who do you
Say
think
You know
it
who
is?
it is. Say it.
I'm just saying,
Say
you've
it.
got... I'm dizzy now.
Same.
You've got shirts of 2 orgs in Siege. Furia and...
Oh, I've got an Eminem shirt,
There
yeah.
you go.
Yeah, Eminem, I like Eminem as an org. I don't know if they're my
I'm
favourite
really
team.
dizzy now.
I'm gonna be sick.
Who's your favourite team?
Hang on. I'm gonna make myself really dizzy and try and walk.
Jack.
I mean, it's tricky. I love watching a lot of teams. I know that's like a really blasé answer. I'm always a fan of Eminem because we followed them the whole time. Fresh is
Don't lean like that against the
collapsing
Oh.
on the side of the set.
I've not been dizzy in a while.
Don't do what he did, please. I have to say it. Yeah. Sorry, I had to dad into it.
It's fine. I enjoy Koi.
Really? You not see them in EUL?
Yeah, but it's like I want to see where they go. They had some changes thrust upon them, and you want to see where they land. You know, I'm not a glory hunter. I follow a team in their ups and downs. Thank you very much, Fresh.
You're saying you're not a G2 supporter?
Not a G2 supporter currently. No change.
Because it's too trendy to be a G2 supporter. at the
It's
minute.
very true.
Oh, yeah. Every time I play ranked with Fabian and Titan, they tell me I'm in love with them.
You have to be like Demo.
But
He's
you
been
are.
a G2 supporter since the very beginning.
Yeah, he's a legitimate.
He's there for the ups and there's for the downs.
Demo at SI was just every time. You knew G2 was on because Demo was screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to see a true talent who's also a huge fan of a team, Demo G2.
There is a food review request.
A food review request.
For what kind of food?
Well, I imagine the lock lack that we were talking about.
It's
It's called the mukbang when you know, step in on camera and stream and eat.
I've never
Have a
heard that
chat.
before in my life.
Mukbang, yeah. It's a
enough.
Korean word. Or as the Americans say, mukbang.
I'm absolutely gagging for some lock lock.
What?
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 What is that?
Where's Hap gone? How's he got out of this?
He's just left.
How
He's,
did
he's
that?
back in Netherlands.
Has he got the train home?
I wonder what the observers are doing.
So I went into production room. Medic is literally, he had his feet on the table, hood up, he was sleeping.
Are you surprised?
And Red Like was like watching just in case the game.
Well, he's got to
needed
learn how to
start.
do things.
Yeah, exactly.
So
He's learning from the best.
He's learning from the best.
Yeah, learning from the best.
And Easy's somewhere else.
Yeah, he said he misses us, but
So when
You
did,
don't believe him?
when did we start
do.
this second?
Oh, you do?
I do. I miss him too.
Oh, it was a long time ago now.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Any other questions that you're seeing, Emmy? Or, you know?
Other questions? I'm trying to read.
Or in the live Reddit?
I believe Fabian kissed Milosh before.
What?
Eat some
Twitch
banana
chat.
bread. I don't think that's a question.
No, but
Oh, actually,
we
mukbang is
have
getting,
slept
like,
half naked in the same bed next to
recognised here.
That's the story.
Yeah. That's when, you know, I was just a student.
Not very many questions at the minute.
Not very many questions. I think people want answers.
Fabian is bald.
Whoa,
That's a new one.
that's a twist.
I didn't realise he'd got his haircut.
The best thing is, like, we're reading Twitch chat's reactions to stuff we said 3 minutes
Yeah, we've still got
That's
the delay,
great.
yeah.
I'm trying to see if anybody's tweeted at us things to do.
We broke 13,000 viewers.
Did we?
Viewers is actually going up. Yeah.
Viewers has gone up by like 2,000.
Yeah.
Maybe this is what people want.
This is what people need.
Yeah, honestly, I do enjoy a spot of...
What's your favorite chibi behind you?
Chibi.
Yeah.
Do they still make them, by the way?
Chippy.
I mean,
Do you think you could fit one in your mouth?
I prefer Chippy.
I have boxes full of those at home.
Yeah.
Same, actually. I counted them last year. I have something like 19 of these.
That was such a subtle brag.
I mean, you went to event. I got the first one,
Yeah, I did.
Jack. There was an Ash. It was the first time they had brought them out at Gamescom 2017. And it was the only one left. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like status, because there was none of them. This is how long ago we're talking, like really gamer bro kind of thing. And still, I think it is one of the good ones. However, I really like the Mira and the Blitz one.
Well, there's a code in the box as well, isn't there, where you can get the little...
Yeah, the in-game charm.
The in-game chibi.
It's like, the chibi.
It's the charm attachment.
Charm attachment, yeah, for your gun. It's really cool. I like it when people do it for the Monty, because you see it on the inside, on the side there with little Monty chibi. It's pretty cute. Good bit of attention. Favorite skin in the game?
Oh, I got the the Rainbow's Magic one in the free pack that I got.
I got the Blackbeard one.
I
really want the Clyde one.
I have
It's insane.
every single one.
Did you buy them?
I bought
Yeah,
all
you
of
did buy them, didn't you?
I saved up 250,000 renown because there's always an event. You know, you save up, and then I also spent money because I want them all. But my favorite skin in the whole game is the beach skin for Thorn, because she's in full combat armor, playing volleyball, and if that's not an Irish person at the beach, I don't know what is.
It's either that or they blind you, because it's just so pale.
It's good. There should be more beach-themed operators. We have.
Yeah.
There's quite a few, though.
There's a Pulse one.
There's a Buck one.
Leisure one. There's a Buck one.
Pulse one is just...
Is there a pool party warden?
There's like Tiki Bar, which kind of counts.
Sort of thing, yeah.
Sort of thing.
The Rainbow is Magic Clyde skin is incredible. The headgear itself.
Yeah.
So cool. I love the fact that he has the glitter and the stars.
Jewel in the beard, isn't it? Something that I really think, or I really try and collect in the game, and I don't know why, is the background cards. Because the background cards for me are very cool, because you
old-timey.
You can see it in the game
you
when you
build it,
load in. You can't necessarily always see your own skin.
And everybody sees it.
And everyone sees it, and I think it's cool. So I try and get the ones, and I've missed out on a few, and I don't know how to get
G2
them.
one is sick. G2 and CAG ones are really
Somebody's
sick.
just tagged me on Discord and said, just show the whole match replay of G2 Eminem from yesterday. It'll give you guys a 15-minute break from this film.
Oh dear.
We could have gone through the whole series in the time that we've been doing this. Though.
Jack, do you have a favorite skin in the game?
Ember Eyes.
Ember Eyes.
That's a good question. You
Yeah,
see,
it is.
The thing is for me,
Yeah.
is I play a lot of ranked, right?
I know. That's a problem.
but
Games you're on. I'm going to see how many games.
I play...
Anyway.
Find.
Yeah, it'll be difficult to find, yeah. We'll leave it at that.
Why? You only have one
7
account, don't you?
But basically, I don't really put skins on that much. That's the thing.
On your main account.
I just play the game. So
boring.
here's my favorite charm in the game, and this is definitely a brag, because there's a few people. I've got the playtester charm, and there's very few people
I have
who
that one.
actually own that charm. And to get
Wait,
that
wait,
charm,
wait.
you've got to play in a playtest of an upcoming season for Ubisoft's purposes.
There's a playtester charm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a playtest in 2018. I don't have
Well,
it.
you
So
weren't
there's-
very good
I
at it.
played. I literally topped the scoreboard. You can ask Shate. We're playing well.
I don't have the best in-game one, but I have the best out-of-game merchandise. And that I have one of the patches that developers get.
You only have one?
Yeah, well, I helped develop one of the operators in the game, so...
I mean, I have a star player patch.
Yeah, you're a star player.
Yeah.
Milos,
Which is
what do you
the
have?
rarest one.
That is
Tim,
Star
Tim
players
also
get-
has
without
one.
being
Because there's
too,
no
like,
more
this is
E3,
the-
so
well,
like,
exactly.
you were the
like,
last gen.
Well, and it was the 2019 one, and I think there
That's
was
it.
maybe 6 people there.
Was it with
for
Brit?
Siege. Brit,
When is the
Shishka,
next enough is enough
me,
video coming out?
Tim.
I know, I watched one on a really good nade spot in Oregon, and I've not seen one since.
There's some classics on there, you know.
Yeah, because they were released 10 years ago.
That's why they're classics. It's quite simple.
Enough is enough. Barbara Streisand. What?
Milos,
You have to put in some more keywords. Bad
put
name.
in Tim.
Feel like
Have you
it's
played
not a
any
great
ranked
choice in that
this
sense.
season?
No, I have not played ranked since the release of Maestro.
Oh my god, you did a Yin guide 5 years ago, Ollie.
Whoa.
How out of
Some
date
of
is
them
it?
are me,
Can we
some of them
put
are
that?
Tim.
Why, you should watch Pro League.
Can we put
4
those
years ago.
videos up?
No.
Nah, I don't think so.
No.
I think we should.
The
I
last
don't
video
think
was
we should.
3 years ago, Grenades Explained.
I think this is Tim.
It's Tim.
Tim did like
Grenades
how to
explained.
count the
If
nades.
I do it loud enough, well...
Let's explain grenades. No, that's
Few days about this gadget and how I think it's a bit underused, a
Hang
bit
on.
underrated.
Just pause this for 1 second.
Operators in the game.
Like, without gassing anyone up too much, I think that this came at a really important time because up nades and stuff, they weren't a big thing. And I'm not saying that Tim pioneered that, but he was certainly...
Tim is the father of upnades.
No, but he
what,
was
what
certainly...
year is this
You
from?
ready?
This is 3 years ago.
Really, how powerful it is.
2020?
It's only given to 3 out of the 24 attackers, and that's Buck, Sledge, and Finker.
Oh, that
Okay.
hurts.
Very, very useful and versatile characters with a great weapons loadout. So if you can get better with these gadgets, you definitely have some free kills there to be claimed without ever really putting yourself at risk. So what we are going to look at in this video is the actual mechanics of grenades. I'm going to break that down for you. We're going to look at the distance that they have to get within for an enemy to take damage and for you to get that all.
Is this old
We're
Origin,
going to have a
by
look
the way?
at the mechanics of cooking
is.
grenades.
Is that the whole
How long
intro?
do you need to cook for so that they just
You haven't gotten
explode
to the
as soon
potatoes
as they
of it?
arrive
It's a-
next to
it's
you?
a 12-minute video, Milos.
There's a reason we didn't kick off on YouTube, Milos.
Run away.
Like a Rick Cactus
Of course,
intro.
This was before the
once we've
ADHD
been over
sort of
that,
era.
This was before the 5-second cuts.
for you, where defenders like to try and hide, and we can get in there with a bit of cover and just rip them out with a nade or two. And again, just up that kill total for you. Maybe just help you in a
really
difficult
want Tim to zoom
situation.
in now.
Win the fight without ever having to put yourself.
Tim, get to the point.
Tim was flying home today. He's got off his flight and he'll come on the Rainbow Six broadcast.
What's going on?
I'm just going to really break down the mechanics
It's a bit
of
bright.
nades and how they work for you. And you're going to have a really
I told you,
thorough
on Oregon.
understanding of how long
Look at
you
this
need to
nade.
cook them for. And
What a belter.
to a custom game then. The
That's a
first
border?
question that I want to put to you
Old
is,
border?
do you know
Without the
exactly
rub.
how close you need to land a nade to somebody in order to secure a kill?
I don't know,
This is
Tim,
a
no.
really
This has
important
changed,
piece
so-
of information.
This has
This
changed.
could be outdated.
I think we'll pause it there because it is
What was it?
outdated.
Now it's out of date.
Tim, shut up.
Tim.
How dare you?
Now he gets a day rate.
It's a speaking role.
Why are we still old timey but fresh as in?
Because
I kind of like it. I think we look kind of good.
We do. We're like
Black and white is quite flattering.
we're stars from the 50s.
Yeah. We're doing one of those silent films where we actually don't talk. And it's just mouthing.
There's some not nice people on Reddit, on Twitch chat.
What's been said?
Yeah, that's why I don't.
Somebody's just said, even though we've been filling for 90 minutes, that our commentary of the game is awful.
That's because we're not commentating the game, you moron. What game do you think is on? What are you watching?
Goodness me.
Go home.
They could be
No,
on.
they're home and it's
I
keep
love it.
watching.
It's great.
But
Oh, wait, they've doubled down. They said something else. Hang on.
oh no,
Give me a second.
Honestly.
They are subscribed to the Rainbow Six channel.
yeah, you should know better. The bar is higher at that point.
Is Pengu co-streaming? Pengu's co-streaming.
I'm sure.
Oh, let's go
but
to Pengu's.
I'm sure he's.
Oh, he's doing a
in
tier
rank.
list. Pengu's doing a live tier list.
Oh, what do we think about it?
He's got...
Are we
Can
commenting?
we co-stream on an official stream?
Not sure if that's how it works.
Technically, we can. We're the official stream. We can
The official stream.
officially. You can
He's got
commandeer
sense
any
in
content.
the useless category.
Okay, can you?
I've got a telestration that proves otherwise,
Can
Nicholas.
you get a screenshot of just this exact thing and send it to our production chat so we can talk about Pengu's tier list?
And how wrong it is.
We're reacting to him reacting
We're
to.
reacting
Yeah.
to Pengu's tier list.
Is
God
it literally
I'm
just an
gonna text
operator?
him now.
Is it just an operator tier
Go
list?
over this one.
It's an operator tier list. He's got sense in useless.
See, I've
Now-
got something to say about that.
Did you see Secrets Execute onto Koi with that sense gadget? It was incredible. I think it's the only time in history sense has ever been useful.
Yeah, I think it's the
Well,
only
you've
time in
witnessed
history.
Sense be useful in the Ranky stack.
Have I?
On Chalet.
Oh, I play way too much ranked. Solly.
Chalet, me and Jackers. Jackers on the sense, upside down on the big
that's
window.
incredible. It works
It's
every time.
unreal.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Get over to production.
All right.
Sure.
I am the producer now.
Hap is going to draw an operator for us.
Scoreboard. Why is Hap there?
You can go and do it too.
I don't want to. I just want beef lock lack.
We can do a mukbang.
Where's this going?
Look, we're reacting somebody else reacting to somebody else. This is prime Twitch meta, as some would say. Shouts out to the pioneers out there. We have to guess who this is.
Oh, we have to guess the operator.
Homer Simpson.
Pulse.
Manfred.
It's a
I
hat.
don't want to say what that is.
Tachanka.
Tachanka.
Yeah.
It's two of us.
Are you just not giving that to Ollie?
He should. We were at the same time. We both should get it.
Who's scoring this?
Hap.
This is crooked.
Amogus.
Exile Toyka.
Brilliant.
That's what it is.
Yeah, obviously.
Troy XR Toy Car.
XR Toy Car.
I love it.
That was a username on my
Yeah, sure. I
totally
can
main
join them on
account
the
of
desk.
Siege.
Wait, I'm going to join you on the desk so everybody is on there.
I like how we just let that be silent. Just this slow walk.
Hi.
Oh, I mean, at this point, I think everybody knows the way the studio's laid out. We do have to walk from one to another. There's no delete button on the keyboard.
Where?
So why are you writing useless stuff then? Just erase it.
Just stop.
Yeah, use an eraser.
Paint over.
Just paint over it. It's paint. Yeah.
Just paint over
Wait,
it.
I left my phone over there. I'll be back.
Bye, Milosh.
Bye.
I messaged Pengu and I
Whoever
told him
is
I took
doing-
your tier list on the stream. So in 3 minutes.
Whoever's doing this is having a nightmare.
Hap, you're just not an artist.
Ah, we have a question.
Is it not Maverick?
Of course, it's Undarn who's asking it. Should Milosh do a Rainbow is Magic cosplay?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cosplayed. It was great fun.
Should Milosh do
did
any
cosplay too.
cosplay? Totally.
I cosplayed.
I cosplayed at SI 2023.
Yeah, you looked fantastic. You and Hap looked
It
great.
was fantastic. It was.
You were so happy.
It was.
You're jumping around.
It was cool. I had people not.
You confused security.
Yeah, I had people not recognize that it was me as well, which was funny.
Yeah.
So like they would like, oh, that's a cool cosplay, and I was like,
I like
you.
to hide my
this Maverick?
identity.
I said Maverick, but I didn't get a
Yeah,
point.
it's true.
So
No, he
I
gets
hope it
it.
isn't.
But we weren't seeing. We were doing something else.
It is.
Please tell
Oh,
me
no,
you
he's
were.
deleting it. It's just moving.
I literally said Maverick after you drew the hat.
Just do it. Continue, Hap.
How does he know if he couldn't hear? I'm actually dialed into this.
You're the only one playing, but Red Like is choosing ops.
There's a lot of them. Just go for whatever.
It's gonna be Mirror, isn't it? Or Jackal.
Did you watch Pojo Man's latest digest?
I've not watched it yet. No.
It only
Oh,
took
it's
3 and a
incredible.
bit years.
It's incredible.
It was so good.
It's so good.
Yeah, I really waited for that. I even saw him at SI just for the 5 seconds I had. And I'm like, Pojo, when's the digest coming out? And I was fully expecting him to tell me, you just moved it by a month. What?
You're just leaning in like that?
Who is that?
Who is that?
Aha. Wild match is postponed. Confirmation. For when? I don't know yet. And the G2 game is coming up in 20 minutes. Wait, can you repeat that?
I have to work again?
I don't know if I can talk
We
seriously.
will have confirmation about what we do with the G2 game in 20 minutes, but the Wild game is postponed. Can we confirm until when? Who is this?
Tomorrow, I guess?
Okay, we will confirm that later on. What is this?
I'm not sure.
I don't think this is an operator from our game, Hap. I think it's Kirby.
What is this?
You need to stop with the yellow
You
as
know,
well. It's
the
hard to
worst
see.
thing about this is he's trying really hard.
I know.
It looks like a duck. It's Capital.
That's an afro.
It's a
And
particular
is it
kind of
it's an
hairstyle.
eye patch?
What did you
Yeah,
think
the
it
eye
was,
patch is what I
Josh?
recognised. Elite Capital.
Okay, well now you're twisting it.
Doing a lot of writing for someone without a delete button.
He just moves it. It's like the hook. Like,
Well, shout out to Topi, by the way.
yeah.
Watching from home. Look at that. No, at work. There you go. Shout out to all the people from NA watching from work right now.
Sorry, I'm just adding some. Keep talking.
Shout out to all of our UK fans that are joining on their 5G network or whatever is there around you. I'm so sorry that your internet is down. That includes our professional teams. And hopefully they can get back to playing. Our official information on our upcoming game is that the Wild versus Eminem matchup has been reported to a later time. We will give you confirmation on that in a bit. Whereas for our G2 matchup, where players, i.e. Doki, are impacted by the internet outage in the UK, well, we're going to have more info on that in the next 15 or so minutes. Thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast. Is that Maestro?
Are we throwing? Or are we
Yes,
doing...
it is. Thank
It
you
is
very
Maestro.
much. Oh, God, I'm so good. Oh,
You're hungry? Oh, I don't know if we're doing Penguins. I messaged him and he was smiling about it, but maybe he's tuned in for us to not do a steal list. And in that case, Nick, I'm sorry.
what's the screenshot?
Hap took over and started drawing things.
Huh?
Screenshot of Nick's stream.
He's not
Yeah,
watching
Pengu's
us.
now
Yeah, but where's the screenshot? That
I don't know. Production's let me down.
I sent it in the Discord.
And I've allowed let Nick
Can you show it?
down.
All right. We can do it on our own in here. Waiting. Hap, get out of there. Let production
Hap,
do the
get
work.
out of there.
Hap, get back
Thank
in
you.
here.
Recruit is an S tier. Why?
Recruit is an S
Crew's the
tier.
best operator in the game.
True. Fair enough.
Can you explain?
You can bring nades and flashes.
There you go.
And any gun. Well, not any gun.
Did you?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in the day he could bring.
I know people who don't buy, like, have an account where they don't buy any operators at all, so they can play recruiting.
We were playing
Really?
ranked the other day. Someone didn't make it in, or someone disconnected, reconnected as the round was loading, and instead of getting put on someone, got put on recruit,
Really?
It's unreal.
and we won the round.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's
well,
actually huge.
now Pengu's watching, we can argue the sense pick. Where did he put sense?
He put sense. So his categories are S, A, B, C, D, underrated, useless, worse than useless.
Okay, who's worse than useless?
Grim.
True.
Fair. When's the Grim buff?
See, the thing is, he's also put gridlock in useless, right? So the ones
There
I
it
had
is.
issue with, here's the ones I had issue with, was the gridlock and the sense. So the gridlock is very useful for covering the sounds of plants, i.e. on border. And the sense thing, Secret did a really good attack using sense on border.
Sorry, I just had to branding.
One
yeah?
of the things as well, it's not just covering audio. You're looking at a lot of teams doing quick plays. You're looking at Azami rushes. You're looking at whatever. How do you cover that audio? You generally have three options: gunfire,
get in.
an E1D, or gridlocks, which are loud, continual, and like you can hear a gridlock on the other side of the map, and it is covering all of that.
Yeah.
Pengu, you're wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong, Pengu.
2-time wrong.
Honestly,
Two-time wrong.
The 3-time agrees with us. That's all we're saying.
The 3-time agrees that the 2-time is wrong.
Dokebi at S. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously
Right.
she's broken.
I don't think Smoke's S tier anymore.
Where would you put Smoke?
A.
Yeah,
Smoke's still good, but not. You don't bring Smoke on every site.
I agree.
It's quite difficult this because we can't see.
I mean, you
what
can
it is.
come here. So he's got Ace, Mute, Aruni, Buck, Echo,
Let's see that.
Zofia. I'm getting old. Cloud, Jaeger, Mira, Maestro, and Whammy in A tier.
Whammy.
Fair enough. I think the smoke can go in A. I agree with that.
Would you have Zoph in A?
Not so much anymore. Put him in B. Put her in B now.
I can't believe IQ, Goyo, like
I'm
I
out.
can't believe they're all in
I think
C.
it's weird having Zoph above things like Flores.
Thunderbird's a bit high as well.
Why though?
She's useless.
But there was a time where everybody used Thunderbird.
The gun's a bit of a. It's
Really?
a bit windy. on the
It's a bit
old
wobbly,
one.
isn't it?
Yeah.
What would you replace it with?
Yeah.
I'll just turn the recoil down a bit.
Okay, fair. So just like a spear tuning
Yeah.
rather than okay.
Well.
Fair enough.
Oh,
I really don't get this. If I have to roast Nick on one thing, is
Do it.
gridlock it useless. I don't get that. I think Gridlock has a lot of zoning potential. Yes, she's not exactly at the level we're supposed to be, but that's even more of an incentive to buff the operator to actually make her a bit better, because it's not, there's just better options right now for zoning.
Yeah.
Whereas with a bit of a tweak, a bit of an
Gridlock's
addition
really
for her.
well used. At risk of dragging this back remotely on track, in round 3 of Villa, we saw Packball using it.
On the push on now.
Like, that is actually
We've shown a highlight.
that
of
is
it.
actually a perfect example of where Gridlock's really good. Gone 6, lot of noise and sound disruption, lot of zoning ability.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Thank you.
beautiful.
Yes, you are.
was
I mean, it's
actually-
just
And also, right?
I
So
just have to say, by the way, sorry I didn't hear you for calling it earlier. It was the admins that I heard talking in my ears. So.
Well, we had admins for that.
yeah.
No, they were saying how it was beautiful that we were drawing stuff on paint. So
I can't see anything. I have myopia, Jack. I was relying on this.
oh, I was replying to Discord DMs.
you can go up closer. Wait,
Yeah, go on,
is
go,
an
go,
S
go
tier?
close to the TV.
No.
Milosh, we've got TVs
Oh.
here. Yeah. So the thing is with
Rook
Gridlock
at
as
C.
well- the thing is with Gridlock as well. Just quickly to finish off on Gridlock.
Yeah.
If Gridlock was a 2-speed,
Yeah.
she's got shotgun,
better,
she's
yeah.
got gun 6, she's got smoke, she's got EMPs, she's got a good gun. She's also got the track singers that make a lot of noise for planting.
Yeah.
Genuinely, she's really good. Apart from the fact she's slow.
F90 or 249.
F90.
Why?
It's no longer the MG meta.
Yeah, no longer.
Honestly, Gridlock and Capitals LMGs both good though. Still,
Yeah,
they don't kick up like
249s are
fingers.
good. It was mostly the Finca issue with the 6P. That was, it made it an issue in the day.
LNG was also quite prevalent.
That's true.
Finker LMG's back, honestly.
Really?
No, it is. We've been playing
Yeah.
it, haven't we? Yeah. You just can't put 1.5 on it. You play the hollow,
Yeah, you
Finker
gotta do
LMG's
hollow.
still back. Yeah.
You're just suppressing fire, right?
Support Finker.
Yeah. Fair enough. 0 at underrated. I don't know why underrated is under D. I would put underrated somewhere else, but 0 underrated. And mostly you see 0 just in pro play, not as much in the Ranky Coliseum, right?
Even then, we're seeing less and less.
The thing about 0 in Ranky is if you're not playing with a full stack,
It doesn't really matter.
you don't really have the communications that you would have with a full stack.
Actually, I don't think many teams have played 0 this stage.
No,
Actually, 2.
we see it mostly in international play when you're at an event. There's more 0 bans. So at this high.
So the only 2 teams to play 0 so far in EU League are, can you guess them? Can anybody guess
Probably Eminem. I know they like to play a lot of 0.
Heroic.
them? Eminem and Heroic.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Which operators haven't been played yet?
So
Blackbeard?
Only
the
about
There was.
the attackers
5
that have
now.
not been played yet is this stage for EU only is Blackbeard is the only attacker,
Phew.
So
and then
That one.
defenders.
Makes
Can you
sense.
guess the only defenders that have not been played?
is it Defenders or Defender?
Defender. There is one.
Tachanka?
Two, there's 2 of them.
I've not seen it to Chunka. Might have just missed it.
No, it's Tachanka and Kavera.
Yes.
Yeah.
As always.
Honestly, Heroic yesterday saved a lot of those because it was like
Oh, they were playing
Heroic were just
everything.
playing
Oh, look at
anything.
that.
honestly,
Big Nick.
They brought a Vigil, they brought a Clash.
Despite a big brain Nick, despite all of that, still, I'm kind of surprised at the Tachanka change that will come in the future, right?
Listening to that man on screen talk about us talking about
Oh, really?
Yeah. Shout out.
in the words of Smoke King, he said, "That is why you're on a desk fresh."
Whoa.
Who what?
I think he said that's why you're on a desk and not on a team.
To be fair, Pengu literally only played Smoke, so that's a bit of a biased opinion.
He agreed with us about Sophia.
Yeah.
Also, he refused to move Gridlock up just because they cover noise.
Yeah, we need to bring her. Yeah.
No, it's fine because I'm listening. And
Oh, shit. We're just
Okay.
You can just
rebouncing.
Who's
Go.
the one team that's played?
We're reacting to Pengu reacting
Oh, I've
to
seen
Pengu
Fuse. Who was it?
reacting to us.
Was it
one
Heroic?
team have played
Oh,
Fuse.
it must have been Heroic.
No idea.
It was Eminem yesterday.
Oh.
Was it Eminem yesterday?
Was it?
I don't know. You're the one
No.
saying it.
It wasn't yesterday.
They didn't play very many attacking
mean,
rounds
they-
yesterday.
No, it was it last week where they were bringing the Thatcher and the Fuse to get the breach. Can't remember.
Actually, question.
My data's saying it's Eminem.
Question. What do you think about Nomad now? You don't see much Nomad
You
anymore.
really don't.
I mean, Solus is kind of removing some of that Nomad effectiveness as well, right? Like, you can just see where the air jabs are.
I mean, on Consulate,
Or
we
you
just
could
played
hear them
Consulate.
before, but it's still like... And we don't have Consulate anymore.
Yeah.
It's a very good one. Like,
Most of the run-out window maps, like Skyscraper or whatever, it just doesn't really matter anymore.
yeah.
Yes, Emmy, anything interesting?
He's saying bandit tricking is impossible and not a real concept.
I agree.
But it
Bandit
happened
tricking
in
that-
the Europe League.
Yeah, but that means your team is,
Okay, yeah.
you know,
okay.
He's pretty much saying that it's about wasting time. It's not.
yeah,
It is wasting time.
it is 100%.
Because of that, the concept
But
isn't a problem.
if you do have 2 heart breachers, indeed, any wall should be opened up.
And I mean, with Zofia in the day, was it the big challenge of most teams was to breach into server on club, for example, and to bypass anything that has to do with a bandit, you just needed one op with a grenade, which in the day there was a lot of it, or Zofia, which was the meta,
Back
and you would
then-
stun the bandit.
We also had a lot of people that just opened up below with Zofia or Ash and then
Yeah.
basically just pushed them off like that. And
Exactly.
otherwise, we had them from the balcony shooting the concussions in. So
Which was the best strategy.
I mean, that's very
because
dangerous.
less dangerous than walking into the building.
I think having bottom floor control and then shooting it from below is less dangerous than letting
But that
the
means you
balcony.
need bottom floor control.
Yes, but you need that anyway.
Yeah, but do teams actually always do that?
They don't always do it, but it's
See?
like it's nice to have if you're taking garage.
It is nice to have. I'm not talking about nice to have, Hap.
It's part of the checklist.
What's more
Nice to have a
convenient?
game right
It
now.
would be lovely to have a game. What is happening with the game, Milosh?
It was postponed, and I think we need to wait like 5 or so more minutes until we know exactly what happens with the G2 matchup later. I'm sorry, but I know we're trying to have as much fun. Please let us know if we're just annoying you too much, and we'll just go. But
You just go, you know, if you don't.
yeah,
want to pay,
we're just
we'll
here
leave.
to have fun because we're here anyways. You know, I could go back.
Bring the lock back.
Whoa.
Right here.
Whoa.
Deary me.
Oh, I've just smelt it.
It's divine. Shout out to
Can we get a
Can we get a close up?
shout out to everybody in Thailand and Vietnam.
This is for our
That rice.
all over
Go on,
the
all you
world.
can.
Oh, it smells incredible.
It smells so good.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Enhance.
You're not enhanced.
Production are all eating lock.
Yeah.
I think to move in the camera or something.
Yeah, they're moving the other one to put it in good play.
Well, I'm hungrier than I was before.
It smells incredible. That rice is flavored.
To eat it on set before I came through.
Oh, very nice.
So
Very nice of you.
If you can.
You didn't ask us though.
Oh, look at that.
There's no branding on it,
Give
so
us
it's
some-
fine.
No, that yeah.
You've got to tilt it.
Yes, that way.
Can you give us some sexy voice, Milosh?
Enjoy our local beef lac made in Paris, brought to you all the way from Southeast Asia. Wonderful piece of marinated beef. Beautiful, custardy, egg yellow, flavored, very tasty rice to top it all off with just a bit of garnish of red onion and a bit of tomatoes. Beef lac, the meal for everyone. Unless you're a vegetarian, in which case we'll replace the beef with tofu, and then it's tofu lac.
Okay, that was it.
Bye.
Thanks.
Enjoy your food.
There you go. Honestly, we are speedrunning the Twitch streaming meta. We've gone from just sitting on camera and talking to reacting to somebody
No,
else,
stop,
reacting
stop,
to
stop.
somebody else, to a mukbang.
Till-
We're
Actually,
turning
had
into
a game as well. Half a game.
On top of it, we're putting esports on the broadcast also. This is
We are innovating.
we're doing a bit of gaming, right? Honestly, this is like a Hassan Abbey stream. We're just doing everything in one go. I'm loving it.
What's the
We've got
next
a
thing
whole
we need to
studio
do?
to do it in.
Pioneers.
It's great.
Yeah.
What's next? If we have
Politics
food-
can't do that.
Well, only one person.
That's the next step.
I mean, we've seen the food. Right?
That's not as good as eating it.
No, that's not. That's not true. You're 100%.
You will be satisfied with seeing
You'll be satisfied with eating and smelling. With smelling
We've
and
had
seeing it.
bedtime stories. We've had a drawing show.
Are they good like free
reacting.
bedtime stories we can tell?
I don't know.
You look it up.
No, I'm
Ollie,
looking at shit posts on Twitter.
that is all
We're
that
now
Twitter
live
is.
Posting on
exactly.
Twitter.
Well, if
And I'm
we've got
getting DMs from Titan.
if we've got a G2 game, we don't want to be telling a bedtime story, Milosh.
I mean, maybe they're going to be telling about that story to VP. We can't do the pre-desk right now. We don't know what's going to happen. So we're offhanding this. It's an offhand strike.
Perhaps just blatantly just read my private.
I'm
DMs from
sorry.
Titan.
There's a
And it was
lot.
caught
I
on
realized
camera
what happening. I
in
was like,
front
oh,
of 13,000.
I didn't actually see. Wow.
You get back
I don't
onto
care.
your
I was just staring.
station, Milosh.
Are there any free fables that we can read?
There must be some.
Probably French ones.
I mean, most of them
Oh,
are
yeah, Chip was just
La
putting the
Fontaine.
next picture on Twitter.
Free.
free. They're adaptations on these old stories from.
Oh my god, Eminem. Salty has posted the best meme ever.
Yeah, if you haven't followed them yet, R6 Esports EU. It's
That's class.
I
They're
almost
pretty
forgive
good.
him for the wrong that he did me. But we'll move on through that.
Have you ever read the Fables of
Like a
La
plastic
Fontaine?
bag drifting through the wind,
What?
wanting to start again.
That was very good.
You ever feel like House of Cards?
No.
Can't go further than that because then we're gonna get into dangerous territories.
What are some good fables from La Fontaine?
You want to get back in the chair and start reading? You never
Yeah.
can all have our luck
What-
back.
Yeah, sure.
That is good.
That's a great idea.
Okay, what am I reading though?
Anything you
A
want.
fable.
Send me something on Discord or WhatsApp. or something.
Oh, what shall we send them?
Or I can send him anything.
We've got a lot of power.
Can we?
Get something up fresh.
Is there any like
Why do people keep asking?
Rainbow Six
Because you sat there
fanfic
with a laptop
that is
ready to
suited
go.
for work?
Rainbow
Yeah,
Six
but
fanfic.
Suited for
Well,
work.
his laptop.
Suited
It's
for work?
different.
I doubt it. But let's see. Okay, so literally the Google command is going to be safe for work. R6 fanfic. For those that want to read along.
Is there anything about Doc just for Dulcamara if she's watching? I know she's a big fan also.
I'm trying to find it. But there is a post requesting safe for work R6 fanfic and there's no replies on it.
Oh no.
So tells you enough about the community, I guess.
Yeah, bonk.
A warm shoulder. The Rainbow Six Siege series. The SFW is about the C8 though.
I cannot.
I'm going to be sending it to you either way. How do I send this to you? I'll just go on your Discord and send it to myself, and then you can find
Yes.
a chat with me, and then
Yes.
that's where you read it from. I've not read it through. I'm not responsible for any of the words you say.
No. Okay.
There you go. I've literally just picked up the biggest post I could find. So you might have to censor it. I don't know. It's up to you.
Did you actually? Oh yes, there.
Yes, disaster strikes as Buck and Doe could be returned from a perilous operation. Their lives in danger and their wills tested. That's a summary from it. It's a lot of text.
Okay, there's some.
Wait, there is some bad stuff in there.
Yeah, it's very like on the nose with the violence.
Well, I mean, we are a game that's about shooting people, you know.
All right.
I mean, Harry was murdered in the latest cinematic, all right?
That's true. I'm just trying to see if there's anything wrong. All right, cool. This is very long, though. This is like a book.
I know. That's what I was saying. It's like you might get through, and by the time you're done, we might have a conclusion about what's going to happen.
No, I would rather not. I would rather not. Hey, if you're watching this, which will be like 5 minutes from now for me, can you send me a book to read? Are Kafka books like free or something? What else can? What are like Dutch writers that are from like 200 years ago?
Okay, so I don't read books. So if you would have asked
you went
me,
to school.
like, right now, I might have known. Yes, I went to school.
Is Shakespeare copyrighted?
Dutch.
Is Shakespeare
writers?
copyrighted?
I mean, I assume not because he's been dead for a while, but
Fair.
that's how it works.
I've actually never read Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
My fiance constantly tells me, "Oh, you don't know this?" Like, no, we were busy learning about the Arab ones.
Copyright? Question mark? Where's the question mark on your keyboard? How do French keyboards work? Where's the question mark? Right
It's
there.
in English. I changed it
Oh,
to
it's in
English.
Shakespeare and copyright. 5 things you should know. The IDs are not protected. Okay. Your IDs about Shakespeare are protected. Okay.
What is he looking up?
To know if we read Shakespeare, that'll be a
Yeah, if
violation
it's
of some copyright.
Copyrighted or
No
not.
idea.
Is there
I'm
still a
honestly gonna go on
copyright on
Esports.
Shakespeare's works? There never really was one. Modern copyright law did not come into being until after the Restoration, but even if we pretended that our current laws applied to Shakespeare's work, all his copyrights would have expired no later than the 1716, a century after he died. So no, there's no copyright.
I think. Yes. If we believe the internet, that is. I'm no expert on the matter. My readings are no binding legal advice.
So we could do The Wolf and the Lamb. It's a Monsieur de La Fontaine. It's a fable.
Uh-huh.
It's called The Wolf and the Lamb.
Uh-huh.
Le loup et l'agneau.
We don't speak French.
I know, but I'm doing it in English. But that's the name of it. The strong are always best at proving they're right. Witness the case we're now going to cite. A lamb was drinking serene at a brook running clear all the way. A ravenous wolf happened by on the lookout for the prey, whose sharp hunger drew him to the scene. What makes you so bold as to muck up my beverage? The screecher snarled in rage. You will pay for your temerity. Sire, replied the lamb, let not your majesty now give in to unjust ire, but rather do consider, sire, I'm drinking, just look, in the brook, 20 feet farther down, if not more, and therefore in no way at all, I think, can I be muddying what you drink. You're muddying it, insisted the cruel carnivore. And I know that last year you spoke ill of me. How could I do that? Why, I'd not yet even come to be, said the lamb. My dam's teat I still nurse. If not you, then your brother, all the worse. I don't have one. Then it's someone else in your clan. For to me, you're all of you a curse. You, your dogs, your shepherds to a man. So I've been told I have to pay you all back. With that, deep in the wood, the wolf dragged and ate his midday snack. So trial and judgment stood. Cool. All right.
I was going to say, I'll be right back. But you're reading, so I'll be right back.
Nobody really cares. I don't know this one, so... what else? Can somebody read chat or like what they're suggesting? Please, I need your help. Why? No, like really.
I'm zoned out.
What?
I'm zoned out.
I know. I wouldn't ask you about books anyways.
Oh.
Ooh, we can go Edgar Allan Poe. I was emo adjacent in my days, and we can do The Raven because that should be free, right? Oh, I even had Poe stories already set in my bookmarks in the day. Where is it? Where is the crow? The Raven, sorry. Here we go. Once upon a midnight, dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. 'Tis some visitor, I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more. Ah, I distinctly remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, 'Tis some visitor, entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor, entreating entrance at my chamber door. This is it, and nothing more. Presently, my soul grew stronger, hesitating then, no longer. Sir, said I, or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is, I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door, darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into the darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming, dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back to the word, Lenore. Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. Surely, said I, surely that is something in my window lattice. Let me see, then, what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more. And on that note, everybody has left the studio. And I think this is my time to shine, I guess, and tell you we're just still waiting. Thank you for joining the EUL podcast as we wait to know what to do with the rest of our night. Wild Eminem, that has been postponed, not to rhyme with our dear Edgar Allan Poe. But we'll let you know on that. We're supposed to hear something about the G2 game versus Virtus Pro, but again, UK internet is not really functioning, so shame. I would say thank you for UK viewers for watching, but some of you won't be able to. I'm sure you're scrolling on social media to see what happens on Twitter. It has been full of things. Anyways, how are you doing? I don't really have much to do because everybody left me here in the studio, and I really don't know why. Because they've all gone off to eat, and I am hungry. I would very much like to eat myself. What? What? We're going to go to a break soon, but they just said soon, which means it might be in 15 minutes. So I don't really know. I don't even have the Twitch down in front of me. So how about I go to the other side of the room and actually see what's going on there, and maybe we can pull something out of this misery and figure out what to do. All right. Hello? Internet went out in England, and we know that. I think internet in the UK is back. Yeah, it depends on which one. I'm just reading through what people are saying. What is happening? We're just having fun. Internet's intermittent. Anybody saying something funny? Not me, because I'm really bad at this. Bedtime stories. We can't really pull those out, can we? We can't do 1v1s. I know there's suggestion. We can do a trivia. Can we do the trivia ourselves? Okay, let's do a break. Please, I want to eat. Just please go. Enjoy. We'll be back in a bit. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Thanks so much for holding on to the broadcast over the past few hours. We've been waiting to see what happens with our matchups, and we have information on it. I'm here to just give you all the lowdown on how things are going. Wild versus Eminem and G2 versus Virtus.pro will be reported to a later date, as there are currently a lot of internet issues that are being reported from the UK, which is where quite a few of the players on the teams are actually playing from. And that, of course, impacts the quality of the broadcast, as these matches are important, especially for the Wild versus Eminem match. There's a team that gets to qualify to the major. We definitely don't want to ruin it by just doing it in the day or making it so one team has to forfeit their match, which I'm sure a lot of people will find to be a very reasonable decision on behalf of our admin team. Same applies to the G2 VP game. Some of the G2 players are impacted by this outage, and so we will have to basically close up shop for today. Just to remind you, LCQs will be starting next Tuesday, So come back and watch those. But any info on when the matches that were scheduled for today will be played will be posted on social media later on, as our team are trying to figure out what sort of delays are we looking for with the internet outage, and when will it be reliable enough to continue with the broadcast, or maybe not. All that info to be divulged later on online. So make sure to check it out on the R6 Esports socials for more details coming up whenever they do. Anyways, I know it's been a bit of a disappointment, but I hope you had a bit of fun with us here on the broadcast. No, we kind of pushed it, but that's part of it. We're trying to have fun as much as we can. Otherwise, we're just lying around and do nothing with a break screen for hours. So thanks so much for watching today, and hopefully we'll be back with you with our matches ACP, but also LCQ next week. Make sure you're tuning in. This was the last day for me here on the stage, so fun ride. We got to do a lot of things together, but there you go. I guess we'll see you very soon. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.